Okay, so we'll see if the bitrate is holds steady this time. It looks like it is. I think we're good.
Hello, Matt.
Oh, man.
I gotta buy those. I haven't bought that series yet. I have the first series, but that's the second series. I know it's the one with Derpy in it. What? They don't care. What do they? What do they care about ponies?
I just give Michael crap for talking about stuff that I'm looking at, well, for pre-stream, and he does it every single time because I usually pull up something with a horse on it, and then he's like, "Look here, I get a horse."
It's all a horse. I got excited. That's the interesting Derpy. Scroll down. Oh, that one's pretty cool. The skull bullet. Oh, kissy horses. That's a potato.
This is a good horse. Hello, Sunset. Hello, Sir Edward. Happy Friday.
Hello, Edward. Thank you for the Derpy. It's good. Howdy, howdy, sunset.
Welcome to July. It's already July.
Oh, no, my birthday's this month. I don't want it.
Yeah, you're gonna be. You're so close to retirement, though.
Oh, it feels like it. Feels like it should be.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts agrees.
Oof. Days like that, I feel like I just need to shave my head and be done with it. Andrea Lippman. Fantastic.
Just getting rid of flags.
Yeah.
And again, there it is. Anything on my screen. You just like you gotta comment on it.
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Billboards down a highway. Oh, blur.
Hello. Actually, I forgot. I kind of said that. So there we go. Okay, so now you guys got audio. Welcome to Rainbow Dash.
Yes, she's very happy. Someone said
Why is she blushing on one side, not the other?
she's very derped right now. Someone she likes said she was cool, and she's been like that for 3 days.
Okay. This is 100% down here. Okay. And she's very. Well, actually, she's a different blue down here than up here.
She's been standing in the sun.
She's like Lyra on the bottom and Rainbow Dash on the top. She's Rainbow Dash, but she is also derpy.
The artist ran out of one crown.
You could just do a recolor and make this derpy.
It's the great thing about Rainbow Dash. She's just a derpy recolor.
Yes. Dash. Yes. Anyways.
Dash.
So we're gonna have to start something new today because I finished the other video I was working on, but I did open it here because there's some neat things about it that I think people might have questions on that I did. So, for one, yes, that is derpy.
Oh no, she's stuck on the ground.
She's right next to me.
How many?
We're BFFs.
Well,
how many?
It's a lot of ponies.
It's just copy paste. I didn't care that you can see like the same mains and whatever.
It's season 1.
Oh yeah, I guess there's that too. So yeah, this video is done. I spent a lot of last night, the night before, working on it, so it is good to go. But it's out for Patreon and Twitch peoples, so they can see now. I'll have it out in the morning probably. I'm traveling north for 4th this weekend, so I'm hoping I'm awake enough to do it in the car. Anyway, but the main. So yeah, everything was animated here. I'm not going to play the full thing because again, it's like the early preview thing.
The ear bounties.
Yeah, so I just made everybody bounce because I wanted the crowd to move, and I thought that was a good way to do it. Actually, the one annoying thing was I had to go through and lock everybody's main because I forgot to. Mm-hmm. So I had to go one by one and lock all the mains.
Madness.
But yeah, so she does a little talk thing here, and then they're all dancing. Because like, yay! I use a really fun like child thing. I should probably put my voice meter up here. Right, volume meter there. It doesn't make any sense, but I love it. Then she does the thing. Oh, I think was it just Derpy here? I think that's the only one I put her in.
Yeah.
Did I put her in this one?
Well, no, you have her in a later shot, but you're evil.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's that too. I mean, this is the like, Derpy. He's gray.
It's not Derpy.
Yes.
That was a bad horse.
But yeah, they're just all dancing. But yeah, so the main thing here I did was I replaced the trees here. I had a different tree, and I did these ones because these are a very special tree. It allows me to manipulate the leaves on a more individual basis. So she does her thing here.
Her thing.
She just kind of goes crazy and then explodes the sun. So, but yeah, I wanted the leaves to be able to shove them back, and so that's what we did.
I love how you have it on top of the hoof like that. That's just good camera play.
Yeah, and it's way back there too. So.
Yeah, no, it's just good.
I purposely did that, and she's not animated to actually do that. It literally is.
Did it just work out that way?
She just cuts to it.
Yeah.
Oh no! Wait, no, I did. Oh, originally I had a cut. I forgot I did. It's very quick. It's like 2-3 frames.
No, it blends well.
But this effect to do this in the sky was actually kind of time consuming. Because I wanted it to make it look like there's initially a burst, but then let me get rid of that burst. This one. But I wanted to make it look like a shockwave that emanated from the center, but then looked like it actually pushed against itself and then sprung back again. And so that's kind of what I was going for here. So there's the initial like ball, and then it kind of all collects and then spreads out. But to do it, there's actually like a ton of pieces to this. So okay, I have just one general light flash, but this one is just the big old ball light, just boom, and all it is basically gets brighter and wider and then not so bright and wide. Then there's this one, and this one is it looks like just another area brightness. I'm gonna lock you right here for view. Just another, like, I think this was to help it blend better with the background, because when I without it, I believe it was a flatter line. I'd have to. It's hard because volumetrics always build up and stuff. Check something. All right. And then this one was a ring gobo I set up, and it's just set up to be. It's a ring that has a fade afterwards. I had it for something else, and I have this very tight at the beginning, and then I widen it out so that it makes it more of a fade in the middle. This is just kind of creating that like cloud effect that spreads out. This one is actually a negative light, and so this is to help create. With all the other lights that are on top of it, it actually removes some of the brightness and actually makes it slightly darker, so it creates a nice contrast for everything. I tried with and without, and it looked much better with. This is a bright ring. This one I think goes out just after that one does, and it also gets wider. And then this is one I wanted actually a harder ring that went out, and so this one was a harder ring, and this one actually keeps going a bit longer, and I think there's another one that goes even longer than that. Yeah, this one. And then another one after that too.
She's like a superstar. She's like, yay.
I think these are just timed slightly different, so that one of them keeps going out after the other one slows down. So yeah, with all of them together though, creates a really cool effect.
I feel like she should be looking down.
You can
like Michael Jackson.
Like, yeah, and then I have the trees kind of do their like weird thing, and like boom, they go flying back. That was kind of why I switched to these, and also they're the one I use towards the end. That's what I was going for. I was going for like a spirit bomb type thing.
I think Celestia just wakes up some days and be like, I could destroy all of this. I don't have to deal with any of this if I didn't want to.
Maybe that's what she's doing.
Gone. I know I wake up some days like that, don't you?
Mm-hmm. The only thing, guys, I was thinking about adding some more motion to her here, but I decided not to. I think I didn't want it to be distracting. So she just does her flat thing, but then I just have a light that kind of shifts around her because I wanted to make it look like the light actually was like liquid and around her and moving. But yeah, then I exchanged me out for I was gonna do the revamped models, but the texture map for the skin on the VN models that this one was based off of don't map correctly to revamped. So if I did, I would have to redo all the textures in the body to make it work for the different mapping, and I didn't want to do that. So this is the enhanced instead, but it was enough to get a much better mouth. But his teeth kept getting in the way, so I actually removed his teeth. So he's just like, whoa.
You removed his eyelashes too.
Then here, there's really nothing special. With a lot of these shots, I decreased the tone map scale, which is the whole map lighting, and decreased it, but then upped all the other lights so that it made it so that it was less general lighting and more specific lighting. And here, just as you're looking up, I think I had to break her jaw a little bit to get her to look like that. A little bit.
It looks fairly normal.
Yeah, originally I had pulled it way down, but I think I've adjusted that. This one, I wasn't sure what it was going to look like until rendering it because I can't really see much, but I had to add a bunch of other volumetric lights behind her because I wanted it to just be like a wall of light. So, yeah, there was that. And, oh, that's interesting. It's camera distance based. It's fine. It looks fine. If I had to read this again, I probably would have actually had her aim her head up more and then pass the camera right by the mouth because I think that would have been cool. I just realized that I probably should have dropped the tongue. No, she actually, no, it's fine because she's saying, I'm having her lip sync with the song at that point, and it's a la, and that'd be tongue out anyway. Then this is the space part. Nothing changed on that. I didn't poke at that at all. I did have to add a ton of stuff to this to try to get it to work because there was just a lot of crap moving. The one thing I did forget to remove, and I just got lazy about it, was this skybox has the light hit it at a weird angle here, so it kind of glows white, and on here it's still in the render, but I'm like, whatever. Few people are actually going to notice it because it goes away right away. Added, I think, a couple more people flying around. Oh, yeah, there's Derpy.
Oh, there's Derpy.
And
she's holding on. She's fine.
Couple more trees. A lot of this was just throwing more houses down and then trying to time stuff and more fire and having to add a bunch more buildings over here. But because the light was low, they would cast longer shadows, and it was casting shadows all over the ground here to the point of it didn't look lit anymore. So I had to keep moving the buildings into different positions to try to double up on shadows so that it kept this glowing, or drop the building heights or something. So it's a little empty over here, but it's because it's, well, for one, that's where the sun is coming. This didn't really change much, and this didn't really change much. These are all done. But I did then have to do a ton of stuff in post.
Summertime.
Hello, Kite.
Hello, Kite.
So, all of these have some form of enhancements on them. Like, so if I turn off, I don't even know how well the stream's going to show it, but with the vibrance, it's just really make those colors pop, and then the levels, just about adding a little bit of contrast to it. The main ones I did here were I had to add the lens flare, and because it really helped to give an enhanced look. So if I remove that lens flare, you get this, but with it looks like this, and that's way better. So a lot of these were pretty easy in terms of the lens flare to get those to look right, except I'm trying to think if there's any other shots here. This one is pretty easy. Yeah, this is actually how it looked when it was rendered, and actually looks pretty good. Except for I forgot to have her actually eyebrow go down there, but whatever. I added a white out here, so it fades to white and then fades back in from white. It helps provide the transition between the two. This one was the one that was tough. So the sun's constantly changing size, and it's moving, and it's not in a consistent pattern. And so I don't know exactly where the center of the circle is at all times. And so tracking this made it so that this sun flare was all over the place. Like, sometimes it would stay still and then move around. It just was horrible. The solution I came up with was... where is... Okay, it's this. So I took a circle and I increased the contrast really, really high in the video so that it made that circle of the sun really, really strong. And I basically mapped it manually, frame by frame.
You worked on this a lot today.
I did a lot yesterday too. To the star. So that was a manual thing, because then by doing a circle, I could see exactly where everything is. This circle then has a center point, and then I could map its movement to the lens flare's movement. The problem was when you lock its motion, it takes on its values, and its values were up here instead of here because of the difference in the type of tool. So I had to figure out how to do right here. Oh no. Oh, this is the wrong layer for that. I had to make a separate layer for it. I had to figure out how to do offsets. So I had to have it map itself to the position of the other one, and then figure out how to add actual like XY coordinates to move it to the correct position. So that was a learning thing to try to figure out. So, but now it'll actually follow this, and you can see the values move there, and so it stays in the center. Very annoying. Get rid of that. No, not that one. Where is it again? There it is. But now I get the lens flare that actually does map correctly.
Yes,
it's really good. It's a good effect.
Michael Bay would be proud.
Yes. Well, the lens flare is the easy part. It's getting it mapped. It's correct, or the hard part. I added in the corner here there's a layer that comes in from the side. You can actually see its line right here. That helps create like an effect on the side that makes it look like everything's blowing out on brightness. And it really adds to showing that like something is coming. Here, the lens flare, the camera shakes and the lens flare therefore doesn't, but I kind of feel like that kind of works. I just left it as staying still. The only other thing I added though was at the very end, I just put a little thing here of like, well, I guess you can see a little better because I can moving it quick, but the Luna and the moon and
Muna.
That's Luna, not Muna.
Muna.
That's no.
Moon horse. She's moon, yeah.
She doesn't move. This is just kind of a simple shot. This, though, is not a model. It's actually a flat texture. And then this area was already exploding on the texture I was using. So when I shined a light at it, it got very bright. So it just kind of blew out in brightness and made it look like it's kind of melting into the sun as it gets brighter and closer. So that is actually a texture. It is not a 3D model. So, but it actually looks pretty good. I'm not complaining.
Yes.
So yeah, that's all done. If anybody has any questions on anything for there, I can go into more detail. Otherwise, look at the stars sparkle.
It is very pretty. I'm sad for all the ponies that lost their homes, though they did escape unharmed.
She's doing a workout.
No ponies were harmed because they're good ponies.
Yeah, I can't think if there's anything else goofy. A lot of the time for this was put into getting some of these like effects like this. Oh, and I added a little bit of a like shockwave effect that kind of out emanates from them. She's double vision.
She's been drinking.
She has been. Anyways, so that'll be out tomorrow. Anyways, so
yes.
With that though, we need to start something new.
Something new?
Because I'm out of things.
You're out of things?
I'm going to open up that credits one to show you the little texture, though. But, so we need ideas as to things that we're going to do. So, yeah, this is just literally a flat texture.
That's pretty cool.
When you go far enough away, it does kind of look three-dimensional.
It does. The light helps.
And she's just rocking on the moon. Can you repeat that one part? The one that started with I use After Effects for. I don't know much about After Effects, especially when it comes to some of those scripting things. Like, how do I offset a locked thing? Like that, I had no idea how to do that. Google's your friend, and knowing what you're searching for, I knew it was offset. I just had to figure out some of the other wording. But other than that, it really was just color correction and lens flare. That's about the only thing I really did in there. Otherwise, oh no, Circle Man. Circle Man wants a stupid face. She's. I'm thinking about in the future, I could just make a different one with Luna.
Eyes.
Because now it's like she didn't escape, she's jealous. I want to destroy the Earth.
I have to save that one for winter times.
But what do we do for a stupid face?
A moon horse on the moon.
We have a moon and we have a Luna. I kind of agree that we could do a Mod Pie one, so it's okay, though. I did want to make more of that. So I've heard some people say that that's one of their favorite shorts I've done so far.
I think that's a good idea because no horses will be hurt or explode. You need to be nicer to the horses.
But what can we do in this shot that's stupid?
Well, you're on the moon. Let's see. What can you do with the moon? You can make a sandwich on the moon. You can do moon things. It's a very, very long week.
It's a moon.
Yes, moon. It's a very, very low poly moon.
Oh, it's
like no polys. Oh, it's got her face on it. That's some good advertisement.
It's actually got. You can go to. Ooh, I thought. Oh no, it's a separate model. It's not a skin, but you can do the same model, but without that texture on it. I really like this one because these actually look like craters, kind of. Like it actually looks pretty legit looking, but I like it. Christian Space Agency geologists are excited to examine lunar rocks returned from the first lunar landing. I don't know how that would be a stupid face, though. We can... I have an idea. We're going to make Luna travel around the moon.
No. I'm going to put her in orbit. She could throw a rock on the moon and then it could like go in orbit and knock her in the back of the head.
Okay. So now she needs to
no. What's she doing?
Okay, so actually I'm going to zero this and then we're going to figure out where she comes out. She comes out over there, so we're going to come out over here.
What are you doing?
She can go fast.
She goes on.
Okay, so now she's on the moon. Okay, and now we're going to give, let's see, we gotta grab that's what it was. Okay, so she's zoom.
She's zooming.
She's gonna extra zoom. Oops. That's not what I want to do. Okay, peace. There we go. Zoom.
Nothing, I'm just having thoughts.
That's dangerous.
No. So many Lunas. Too many Lunas.
You say there's too many horse?
No. Luna's pretty cute. She's cuter than her sister. I said it.
Okay, so it wasn't quite exactly because I'm getting a little closer here. But we got some horses. And then...
Man, everything smells of charcoal. No. Super horper duper horses. Yes, the first ponies land on the moon. What creator did you choose? This one here. Oh. Is it too late to choose a different creator? Yes, why? Second, this is one small step for pony, one giant leap for, it's all poop. Everything is poop. It's like, that's the creator I used as a toilet.
She goes zoom.
That's toilet creator. Zoom.
And then, as they go, they
1,000 moons of poop.
They spin around some more.
It's like
Let's see if this works.
Carnival ride.
Oh, there they go.
Like a basketball.
And then if I grab somewhere in the middle here.
You're reaching critical Luna mass.
And then we do stagger. Stagger again. And then we select here. Stagger. And then we select here. And we stagger. Okay. I thought that would change one of the other bits a little bit, but not so much. They're still crazy Luna. Let's just choose random ones. Let's go like this, and then this one. No, not that way. We'll just go a little bit like this, and then other Lunas. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, now these should be more like craziness. Oh my god, it's like a little ant colony.
I'm gonna go get food for the Luna Queen.
She's trying to find a way off.
Yes, it's like maybe if I go this way. It's like it's crazy.
It's like ants that found an apple.
I still want them to do a time traveling episode to show that the stars that aided in her escape were somehow like ponies traveling into the past.
Oh, I would want to select that episode. No, it still wouldn't work. Because if I zero a Luna. It's going to shove her. Yeah, it's way over there. So I was going to try to like have them all collapse in on each other, but that probably wouldn't work. What if I remove the moon? She's making... Oh, I see. You know what? This is what it is. Okay, hold on.
Many Lunas gave their lives to make the moon. You know, I like the idea that the craters on the moon weren't created when she slammed into it, but she just had a lot of free time, so she carved her face into the moon. That would have been a much better story.
Okay, so here we go. So this is how Luna made the moon, and then she's just like,
make a moon. She did it.
And then moon.
She got moon now.
See, this is a story that Celestia's empire has hidden through in the textbooks, and she can just as easily consume it.
No, they're eating it. They're gaining their power. Moon. I just want to say moon. Moon's fun. Moon's a fun word. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
This is kind of trippy as hell.
A little bit. It's like how the universe.
Look, of course, she's going.
She's a bunch of ponies.
I have long held the headcanon that the AI harmony tree totally evolves into a god that manipulates events through time. That's an interesting headcanon. Read a story. The Luna electrons are moving around the moon.
Yes.
Yes, it's
forming new moons.
Yes, it's
Moonium.
Yes, this is Lunani
Bootium.
Boopenium or
Boopenium, yes.
This is a new atom. It's horse.
It's the basis of all horses.
Anyway, I'm gonna close that. So, bye Luna Atom. We need a do file though. We're gonna call this.
I did like the one idea though.
What?
The ponies landing on the moon for the first time in a spaceship, and it being like this one small step for pony, one giant leap for, and then they just step and poop. And it's just a giant crater full of poop.
No.
Because that is.
I mean, it wouldn't be kids. Actually, it might be made for kids.
Because
poop jokes.
It's like, you know, just being back on planet Earth, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my poop crater."
Yeah, but how do you give the context for that?
Screaming about poop.
It would be kind of funny of like there's the whole build up of like first ponies to space and they finally get there and they plant a flag and they just look over and an outhouse opens and it starts playing All Star as she just kicks out of it. Get off of my swamp.
She had to put all of her poop somewhere. But I also like the idea of like Celestia calling the elemental harmony to deal with like small, like a really petty thing, like a spider. Mm-hmm. Or like somebody left the toilet seat up.
That would be an interesting series, but okay, thank you, Sarko. So I do like the idea of doing another mod Jackass skit, which is nice because I don't think I have to actually pull new audio for it. I can probably just use the audio that I have. So
really, you already have audio. Wait, you have a VN mod?
Yeah, like Vicasa, whatever that means. I don't know if it's an actual VN version of her.
It kind of looks like it is. Because I could not find a VN version of mod. It was just a base one that Aggie made like back in 2014.
I think it's the same one because I can see that this goes vertex, vertex, vertex. Where if I go to like,
it's the Crystal Warfare one. There's the chest hair rainbow dash that you always have.
But if I go to the revamped,
it's much more smooth.
Yeah, you can just see right there how there's no ones because there's just like way more vertices.
I don't know how mod never got a VN. Or an enhanced, for that matter.
It's like done. I don't know. Oh. Well, this is.
I mean, it's a fine.
I'm thinking this is the VN.
Well, Aggie made this one.
Yeah, but it's based on VN. If this wasn't, this has to be VN.
Okay.
Because if it wasn't, it would look like. Pinky stands out and makes it easier to see. So this is pre-VN. Thank you for the follow, Justin Kyle. This is pre-VN.
Oh yeah, that's way. Oh, I forgot how bad those looked.
Yeah, look like bam, bam, bam compared to. I use the nose because it's one of the rounder parts, but you can see here. That the snoot has, before it went bam, bam, now this has like probably twice as many vertices. And I think the revamp doubled or tripled from there too. And that's, well, because it went from VN to enhanced to revamped. They're going to run out of adjectives.
They went to, yeah.
But yeah, this, and then watch like this. So for one, all that shading on there is just.
It looks old.
It looks old. But.
Even the textures are boxy.
There's a jawbone on the original ones, though. That already is better than some were.
Was that KP Satyr Squirrel? Or?
Yeah, these are KPs.
Yeah.
Some of these flex I don't have on there, but...
Oh, that is rough. Oh, that hurts to look at.
It's because there wasn't enough vertices, and people were learning. So, but you can even see here, that's a straight vert. It was rough. And some of this was, you could probably play with it a little bit. Like, I could play with the SSAO settings to fix some of that shading thing, but still, it was raw. Oh, hello, Nashi. And hello. And Justin go tail sniffer. Yeah, that was kind of an accident. I didn't do that on purpose.
No, it definitely would be a. You can actually use the audio from Powerpuff Girls, where they call except it would be Celestia as the mayor, with the jar of pickles. Do you know that episode? Where he calls the Powerpuff Girls to his office because there's like a stuck jar of pickles.
Are you still going off the simple thing? We're not doing that. We're doing another mod jackass.
I know. I'm just thinking people in chat are like reminding me of things.
All right, we're going to.
What if Maud was trying to open up a jar of pickles?
Well, what if she wasn't?
Well,
okay, we're going to. No, I don't need that. Let's go to. Let's name everything there. Okay.
Because it doesn't have.
So I got a horse.
Yes.
We're gonna do the jackass thing, but what is something that I wouldn't say it's like Jackass, but what is something that it looks like it would be a stunt, but it wouldn't be, or something that is mundane and average, but she makes it look like some Jackass, like a Jackass skit.
Putting your cart back.
That would be hard to provide context for somebody that might not live in a place that has carts.
I can't think of what that place would be.
Only 30% of the people that watch my YouTube are American.
Yeah. But I imagine they have to have at least access to some sort of electronic device to watch videos.
But still, she needs chapstick and skin moisturizer. Oh yeah, for the other ones, definitely. I keep like I'm not picturing an alarm going off in Macy's homes. They activate hidden rooms and jump in, then they appear Japanese Sentai style in color-coded costumes. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work I wouldn't be able to do. But what would be something super mundane that she could do? Originally, the original idea for the first Jackass one I did was I wanted to do a compilation because it's kind of what they do, but I decided to just go with the one. But what would be another? What would be like a super mundane thing?
It could be like a carnival ride, maybe, or Like, she could just be strapping in. Like, you could show her, like, a close-up of her strapping in.
Strapping in would be hard because I'd have to have some kind of a fabric thing that I can move around and
one of
mold.
those bars that come down.
I could if that one exists. So I don't know if something like that exists.
Well, I was thinking this is just making it look like she's getting ready to do this super awesome thing, and then it's like a kiddie ride or something. That was my thought. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out.
It just goes. She straps in, and then it's just a normal slide, and she just slides down it really slowly. Goes. Yay!
You could do something with a slide.
Getting a coffee shop.
I kind of do like the idea of her putting on like a helmet to go down a like a.
Well, I have the helmet. I'm going to put her in the helmet for everything because I have her in the other one with the helmet. Getting coffee might be difficult because it's hard to. I want it to be mundane, but want to have it with something that would be considered an end that would like cut. Like coffee would be pretty. It wouldn't really have a cut. It would just kind of keep going. So, opening a can of bean soup.
She just
opens a can, puts it in the microwave, sits there for a full minute as it goes around.
I like the idea of like closing in and having it like the speed lines go by, and she's just like in a swing. I'm thinking like playground equipment. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna see if there's. Well, that's tetanus.
Yes, that's every disease. Get to read. Oh, there's a nice one.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
I like that one. What's that from?
Left 4 Dead. Actually, it's pretty clean for Left 4 Dead.
The ladder rungs are all broken, but.
Okay, so it's because the camera's in there. Okay, so we can have her in a slide. I think that kind of works.
No, I think. I guess it was to keep you from being able to climb it in the game. It's probably the idea of breaking all the ladder rungs.
Except the bottom one. Oh, they're wood too.
Oh yeah, I guess that's why they're broke.
But why is the bottom one open? I think that one would break first.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we put her in a slide. We're gonna need to find like a forest or something.
I'm gonna use the same forest you always use. Because I said that, now you're not going to. It's a
Is
fun
there
game
a
we
park?
play. Circus.
No, that's Percy's Circuit.
Circuit.
Who's this
That's
one?
what I said.
Oh, park. Oh, that's the actual park from Left 4 Dead.
That could work.
We'll see.
It's open.
I've had other things open, so it may crash just from having other crap open.
Too many Lunas.
Okay, so where is the map?
Hazy sun. It's the.
That's the 3D skybox.
Yes.
That is the 3D sky. Oh no, that's the. Okay, there it is.
Oh, wow, that's some body bags.
I know where this is too.
I don't know if
It was a later map that was added.
I never played it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I know this part.
I remember fighting like assholes here. Okay, this is actually where I did the
bloopers.
Yeah, this is the bloopers where I did the horse thing.
Yep. We still need to play that level every time.
This one?
Well, not this one. The one they added.
Where's an area I
Still
can
never played.
use? Like maybe this. See, this is the one thing I don't like though. Is these plants are a little rough. The lighting's also not that great.
And the default lighting. Well, it's supposed to be all.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, and I can play with the lighting.
Cryptic.
There's another stupid face. Oh no. There's a tool you can run a map through that will delete the lights and leave everything else untouched. So there's that too.
Didn't you already mess around in this map though? Don't you already have it relit?
If I did, it was very specific to these specific angles, nothing else. I'm gonna check the workshop though. Let me double check that quick. Oh, it's on my head, and then I will jump in that stupid face. Michael, what do you think we should do for a stupid face?
Stupid face? Something with Scootaloo. I like Scootaloo.
Why Scootaloo?
I don't know. I just like Scootaloo.
Well, cheers, Blair.
She could be.
Ah, thank you. Parking. South Park. South Park HDR. Why do you need an HDR South Park?
South Park. It's high definition. This is okay.
Why is Gurren Bender in South Park?
It's a lovely relationship.
Yeah, that one I got it because I think I was needing it for a race, like I'm going to do a car thing, and so I downloaded that and then I never used it.
That's a pool. You don't want kids playing near a pool. You get hurt. Is that the two houses from? I feel like that's from.
It says two houses.
I feel like that's taken from The Walking Dead. But I could be wrong.
Princess Poppycorn?
Unikitty.
It's a Rule 63 Soul Unikitty. Who needs that?
Somebody. Clearly.
I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, let's go with this.
It's fine.
All right, so we need a Scootaloo, you said?
Yes, but I haven't figured out.
We got a Kite said Sweetie Belle.
Okay, well, Kite wins.
So we'll grab Sweetie Belle.
Better.
Where's Sweetie Belle?
The CMC revamps aren't as well shaped.
Huh?
I feel like the teenagers version. The
teenage version is just the standard model. That the original version of the CMC before a more custom version of them was made was just the adult model scaled down.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember who made this version. I think it was Eric Core. Might have made the more chubbier version that we're accustomed to. Well, thank you very much, Silver. Rainbow, stop drinking. No, just let she drink as much as she can. More booze is for Rainbow Horse. How do you think she keeps the rainbow? You better not stop her. Well, thank you for the resub. Ooh, you know what we can do?
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. What? Have them Sweetie Belle find wing pumps hidden under bed. Oh no.
I was just imagining Sweetie Belle putting a bucket on her head and then Scootaloo just like hitting it with a bat. It made me giggle.
I can do that. See, when you recommend the abuse,
no, that's just what friends do.
No, you're from a weird place.
No, you never had
no.
Okay.
Because our entertainment usually involved different ways to abuse each other. We bought the really cheap lightsabers, got really junk out in the field, and then beat the crap out of each other.
No. We found.
Well, it could have been like Kentucky and stole it from somebody too.
Yeah. Bought things. Oh, they should hug.
Oh yeah, I put them in shipping range, didn't I?
Hugging is fine. They're friends. That one's got blood on it already.
Perfect.
It's not big enough. She's got a fat head. Just can't make her head smaller. Make the bucket bigger. He's just a bucket head now. No, everything is wrong.
And she's like, hello, Scootaloo.
I do feel like this is more of a...
I'm Sweetie Bucket.
I feel like Sweetie Belle would be the one putting the bucket on, like, Apple Bloom's head. No.
It'll fix itself.
She exploded. I just need that big old, like, wooden thing. Her head's too fat. for a standard bucket. So how is chat doing today while he abuses Sweetie Belle?
You wanted this.
I have no recollection of this. She's got an awkward head. Her snoot's poking out.
I was hoping I could grab it. The other models would actually have like a bone I could grab, but this one doesn't.
Love it. No silver. I thought you said stop. You were right the first time. What happened to Sweetie? Oh no, those grass. She started breaking apart. Looked away for like a second. Like there's already blood on the bucket. Like they've done this before and it went wrong.
That's why they have her with the bucket, because it's already her blood.
Yes. Of course. I mean, how else are you supposed to make Pepsi without unicorn blood? It's one of the key ingredients. I haven't seen any of Stranger Things.
I've seen season 1 and I think half of season 2. I watched it when I was on a business trip, and then I watched what I could and then never got back to it. But Netflix is expensive now, so I don't care enough.
Yeah. And I don't watch that much television.
That's streaming.
And
I watch streaming stuff. I don't. Yeah, kind of. But,
it's just a replacement for cable.
Okay, so there we go. So now she can move her head around like normal.
I only watch what I pick up on the antenna.
Okay, so what is she going to use to hit it? Is she using just like a stick, or is she using?
What's funnier? What's the funniest thing she can hit it with? No, that's. Oh no! I don't know this Kulu can lift that.
I kind of like the idea of just like a cheap stick. Like a good beaten stick, but...
Yeah, like the one Applejack uses.
Like this
Apple
one.
Bloom. No, that's dead. That's a pretty good beaten stick.
Like, I want an actual, like, one that came from a tree. There we go. Like,
I've been... Oh, that's stab a horse.
Okay, here we go. Right from a tree.
You just have her run into a wall.
Is Ever laughing?
Her friend, no, have her friends laughing. She's not moving. Oh, I got sad.
That would be a lot of work to make her fall and make it look decent.
That would also be very sad. Why would you suggest something that sad? You should stop this.
This is all on you, bro.
I don't remember anything.
Why is there not just a stool?
I'll type in branch. If you're looking for a branch, type in branch.
Oh, I guess it'd be, yeah, branch. Well, that's kind of decent. That's a pretty good stick. I'll just take that stick.
That's a fence post. Scale that down.
Oh, yeah. No, it's perfect. So to 4 a.m. last night watching Stranger Things. Oh, yeah, so...
Oh,
but you watched it...
branch you used to throw at the bird.
But that one's different because it's split. I wanted just one direction one. Yeah, but if you're staying up late to watch it with people, that's way better. Getting to watch television shows and stuff like that, especially if you haven't seen it before, with people, way more fun
Yeah.
than just watching it by yourself.
It's kind of like the reason I don't watch a lot of television is because I don't like watching things by myself. So,
There's some things I just know that if it's like a series, chances are getting everybody in our group to try to like get together and actually watch in any consistent fashion is just not going to happen.
I feel like there was a series we all watched.
Expanse.
Expanse, yeah.
Yeah, but that one was about the only one. Anything other than that, I just don't see working.
Oh boy, when's the next season of that?
Never. It's done.
Never say never.
They left it open, thankfully, to where, because Expanse ended because it was just not renewed for another season, but there was still 3 more books to cover, and thankfully they didn't just go and make up an ending for it. They actually gave it its legitimate ending to that arc,
which kind of left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and left it, well, I would say not so much a cliffhanger, but they left it where there was a lot of unanswered questions, and they did give hints to things to come, even ending one of the episodes on a cliffhanger that isn't resolved in the next episode, therefore a cliffhanger for if it ever comes back. But there's a 30-year time gap, and it'd be really hard to go any further with the current actors, because how do you do that when you have 30 years?
I think you could just leave it there. Just have that as a picture. That's all you need. Cool little horses. Oh boy. So who had a good weekend? Or it's not been the weekend yet. Who's having a good weekend so far? There, I did it. I saved it.
It's not even the weekend yet.
It's the weekend. The weekend has started.
Okay.
Like how Maud's just buried in the park. Like a shallow grave for Maud. Scooter's ready for some happy, fun horse times. Look at that face. Got her swinging arm ready. Hey, Jubbly. The CMC are having fun. They don't have a lot of money because they're poor. Okay, well, Scootaloo's poor. Scootaloo has money, but she got into the stuff under the cabinet again, so she's up for anything. And Apple Bloom, well, they haven't seen her in 3 days since the last time they went into the forest, so they're figuring stuff out. And Ma's just kind of been buried in the shallow grave in the park. That's fine. So now you know, now you're all caught up. Also, Steam Lad says, join the Discord. So you should do that if you haven't already.
Okay.
I do not believe that Maud is a G3 character. No. I don't know that G4 has any background characters that have really stood out to me yet. Not G4, G5. I guess Posey, kinda.
Posey?
But she's not a very good horse. She's kind of mean.
I actually thought Maud was one of the G3 characters. Tularula? I don't know, is she unique? I know a lot of them had an equivalent of some sort.
Maud?
Yeah.
Maud's unique.
This is the first time we ever saw Stranger Things. Oh, so you burnt through all 4 seasons?
In one night.
That's a lot to get through. That's actually kind of fun, though, because when you have a big gap, sometimes you forget what's relevant. It's nice being able to burn through so much at once sometimes.
As long as it has an ending. Someday. Because you start.
Well, being that Netflix normally cancels after 2 seasons, and they've kept that going for as long as they have.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's their Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I think they were talking about doing a prequel to the Game of Thrones, which sounds absolutely awful.
As long as it's based on the original material and not for a cash grab.
I hope it's in a high school. It's all the Game of Thrones characters younger in high school together. Wouldn't that be great? Bet you're looking forward to that. I know nothing about Game of Thrones, otherwise I'd be making jokes. No, it exists and that it was popular. I need to watch more television. I just keep wanting it to be the hammer sounds from Deep Rock. The ting, 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 ting.
That's kind of what this is.
I feel like Sulu just keeps getting happier and happier while she does it. They're working on a Fallout TV show. That could be good, but I mean, that's always been... I want to say that could be good, but there's a lot of shows that people are like, oh, a Halo show. That's going to be pretty good. And
no, I knew it wasn't.
Bad.
Because I knew the people running the lore aren't going to like be the people that wrote the lore.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like Mass Effect. When Mass Effect had an original guy that did everything, then he left and the story went down to shit. They started writing more books, but all of them, they had to apologize for one of them. It was so bad.
Like if I heard the writers from like Fallout New Vegas were working on the new show, I'd be legitimately excited.
Here you go, Michael.
But she's gonna be fine. She's not going to college anytime soon, but she'll be fine. I mean, neither of them are, so that's what they do for fun. It does look like fun. We should do that sometime. You can wear the bucket. No, why she fall over? She's fine. She's fine. This is just what friends do. Friends let friends hit them in the head with a stick while they wear a bucket.
There we go. So she just gets speeding up.
I mean, that's like the little head spin there at the end, like womp. No, like the one show I was super looking forward to, because I even thought about it when I was younger, how amazing it would be as a live action series, was Cowboy Bebop, and they messed it up royally, and I just can't trust anything anymore.
It's good in some ways and bad in others.
They tried rewriting it. That's why it's bad.
The art style, they try to make one-to-one replications of some things, but then they completely redid other things. So
the set pieces, the costume design.
Yeah, that was all really good.
That was all really good. The casting was great. Whoever decided to essentially rewrite the series because they thought they could do it better, they need to go jump in a well and be stuck there just for a few days at the very minimum, at least until they're sad. Until they're really sad. Like, because they have upset me so badly, because they're not going to get another chance.
You didn't even finish watching it all.
They're not going to get another chance. I know, because as soon as I realized that they had
because we watched the end. That was...
Well, that too, but...
Because I knew that there are a couple good gems in there of the episodes.
Sure, but... they just had to do the story as it was written.
I can.
You don't rewrite masterpieces.
No, you are ugly.
Like, the whole reason you were doing it in the first place is because it was such a masterpiece. Recognize that and make that. Don't rewrite it. Don't go, I can do this better. It's not a hold my beer moment. Oh. But Fallout, I think they don't have to worry about that as much because there's so many stories within the Fallout universe, and it's the universe itself that's interesting, not necessarily a single storyline or a character. So I can see, like, that's the thing with, like, Halo. When you mess up Master Chief, you mess up Halo. Same thing was
as soon as in the Halo TV series he took off his mask, it was done.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from that because that meant that they completely modified the story to their own means, and it was done.
Yeah. Like, and the same was with Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop was amazing for its story. You mess that up, and the characters. You mess that up, you mess up Cowboy Bebop. Fallout,
I think...
It doesn't have a focus character.
Well, Cowboy Bebop had... Yeah, it has focused groups and some elements that are maintained, but other than that, really, it's the aesthetic.
It's the aesthetic in the world.
And even the world is... They have a ton of room to just fuck with.
Yeah.
It's really, as long as you make it 1950s post-apocalypse nuke... What do they call it? We call that... nuke punk or atom punk.
Atom punk.
Yeah, basically, as long as you do those three, you kind of already have Fallout. Yeah. So Fallout's... I wouldn't even say Fallout's cornered that market. It's a monopoly. Like, there's nothing you can really do in hitting those three aesthetics and not just be called Fallout. Yeah. So,
and I think Fallout's a little safer with them making a show of it because there's no central character you can really mess up. There's no central story you can really mess up. As long as you get the general lore of the world right, you'll be fine.
But even then,
let's see them mess that up.
There is some deep lore that could go in there, but I'm not going to care about that. If somebody goes and says, well, technically, in 2176, this event happened there, and you pass that up. Like, I don't give a shit about that. But if they go, if they're going to bring in the Enclave, they better act Enclave.
Yeah.
The mentality that are behind the characters, that I want to see correct.
Yeah, you better get like their general sociology down.
But if they change those... I don't know how they would improve it because I feel like the series already has some really good.
Well, they spent a lot of time over since like early '90s developing these factions, these, and if you go trying to change them too much, you're like I think in Fallout 3 it had the Enclave basically start going under a new leader because they were The Enclave's very, very much tied to the old world.
Yeah, but the Enclave isn't Fallout 3 and stuff. That's based in one area, and when you have a lot of communication and stuff cut off over long distances, you can really do whatever the hell you want because you can just say, well, this is a unique instance of this area.
I wonder at what time period they'll have it play out in. I would hope it would be the Fallout 1.
It would be kind of cool
timeline
if they showed the war leading up to, but I also think that would not be Fallout then.
Well, no, that would be Fallout. That'd be Operation Anchorage.
It would
still
be, but
Fallout universe.
It would be Fallout universe, but it wouldn't be what people would be looking for. I would like it.
It would be cool to have flashbacks to it. Maybe
it'd be like the Ministry Mare.
Like if you had like I don't know, total thing. Like if you had like 6+ seasons. If you had one season that was the war, that'd be pretty cool. If there was like a storyline that they were super hard following and it threw that off, that would be a bit of a bummer. But now there really isn't any time period within the Fallout universe that would be boring, whether it be the war, the immediate years following the nuclear fallout, or the time when the first vault dwellers started coming out of their vaults.
Michael.
Just have it go and squeak the whole time.
No, I wanted to do. I wanted to have her do this. Not quite this slow, but I wanted to have her go.
It's just a really crappy slide.
I'll angle her hooves and everything at some point, but I don't want to do it right now because if I do, I'm not going to have the straight version when I get to the bottom. I can balance it so that it angles down when it's just going down and then straightens out when it gets to the bottom, but I don't want to deal with that right now.
I like the idea of her hooves being further out, though, in front of her.
Well, no, I'm working on it.
If she was like this, that'd be really cute.
As she's going down, it like goes really slow. Halfway down, she just goes, wee. I have to be careful with hooves because to do this sit pose, I have to jam the legs up. And so if I go and move them forward, they're going to look a little small. They look fine now, but...
Yeah. I don't know how much the dress would cover up.
Cowboy Bebop could have been amazing if they just redid the story. But they did not remake the story, but to follow the story. That would be difficult because some of those episodes were a little rough on the original. And it was a little bit disjointed while people want a narrative and a strong, cohesive experience now. I think it would be, if they were to make it super nostalgic for some people, they would be sacrificing current people, and therefore they're not going for a larger audience. So I think they were trying to attain a larger audience, but also trying to make multiple seasons out of it or keep it open-ended. And that's like they tried, it failed, and so they just said, well, we did. If we were to do it the other way, we would have just had one season and stopped anyway. So in the end, they still got the same out of it. They just weren't able to continue.
To me, Cowboy Bebop was a masterpiece in redoing the story. Like they did, is kind of like saying, I'm going to redo Phantom of the Opera because I think I can do it better.
No, I don't think it was about them doing it better. It's they needed to find a way to make more than a single season. How do we continue this forward potentially?
Well, they tried stretching it out.
So they tried making a story that they could keep it open-ended and modifying it to go forward with the intent of, if it works, they have a go-forward plan. If it doesn't, they made the one season they were going to do anyway. They got the money out of it from people watching it. They're done. So if they were just on the one season, everybody loved it, but they had no plan to go forward with it, it would have only been one season, and then they would have been exactly where they are now. So, because to them, it's not about making something good, it's about making something that gets views. People viewed it. They got what they wanted out of it. So, in the end, it probably didn't matter to them that it didn't succeed.
It's sticky. But now, if I had to pick a timeline for Fallout, the series, I would say the first Vault Dwellers coming out of the vault. Dealing with the wasteland. But
the first people coming out are not going to be having as much of the Enclave or some of those other things popping up. I think that they would have to go, or there wouldn't be established settlements.
It would kind of be like 76.
Yeah, but then there's no settlements, so there's nothing. The conflict would be minimal. Like, I think that some of the coolest things is running into these settlements that have been established for 100 years in the wasteland. So, no, I think that maybe 20 or 30 years afterwards.
It should definitely be a Vault Dweller, though.
So, it has to be a Vault Dweller.
The first series, you want to do...
Is New Vegas the only one that wasn't?
New Vegas wasn't.
Well, kind of. Were you a descendant of a Vault Dweller?
No. Because I thought you were a courier.
But weren't most of the people in there
Mojave Wasteland
in something from the vault?
You get a vault suit in New Vegas.
Well, yeah, but
you get it from somebody who was a Vault Dweller.
But were your parents from, or were your parents from a vault?
I think all the people, or the vast majority, are from a vault, because everybody who didn't get to a vault basically either died or turned into a ghoul. But they do state that the wasteland, the Mojave Wasteland itself, Dr. House's personal missile defense system protected it, and it remained relatively untouched. So there are places that were just safe from the immediate fall. They got killed by everything that came after. Mm-hmm. But
there's got to be some areas where people were untouched, but whether or not they were able to sustain any agriculture in wake of.
Yeah, because there was the whole, even if you didn't get killed in the blast, there was still the
nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Zero Gravity says that Fallout 2, you were a descendant of a Vault Dweller.
That's right. You were a tribe. You were part of a tribe that was descendant from the first. The survivors of the Vault from Vault. Welcome. The first Vault in the first game.
I can't load up audio again.
Which is kind of a step back when you think about it. They came out of the Vault fairly technologically advanced, and then by the time you get to the second game, the survivors of that vault have basically just become almost a primal tribe. But they were still very reliant on a water purifying system from the vault.
I'm Mud Pie.
That goes faulty.
That's kind of reminds me of was it Dr. Stone? Had the anime. Did you ever see Dr. Stone?
I didn't see Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone was on. There was an event on the Earth that everybody got turned to stone, and some people start coming back because it ends up being that the thing that reversed it was this runoff from something. So some people over thousands of years or 1,000 years or something, or hundreds of years, I can't remember, ended up having this hit them. And so they came out of it and they were able to make small little villages. But otherwise it was civilization surviving in basically like look like a Horizon Zero Dawn situation of like everything's overgrown.
No, it was kind of interesting because they were very much like almost a tribal situation in 2, but they were very reliant on technology from the vault to survive. I'll make a drink.
I need to. Blur needs it.
It has been at least an hour.
Blur needs it. So we'll get to that in a sec, Blair. I'm back. The war was between the U.S. and China. What happened to the people of South America, Canada, etc.? Yeah, that's actually the one thing with Fallout that always bothered me is it always was America focused, which probably makes sense because if the war was between China and South America, the worst hit area would be.
Very interesting. I know a lot of that lore.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, yeah, he came. Michael, go get drinks. Shut up. I would think that a lot of those other countries might kind of thrive, but you would have thought that they would have also tried to pop up into America and China with like groups to try to. Michael, get your drinks. No, shut up, Michael. Or something. You would think that they wouldn't have been hit as hard by such. So, every time we brought up something, he just starts walking by with empty cups. And empty cups, you can't drink from empty cups. Good thing we're getting Follow London soon. But that's a mod, isn't it? Or like a full, it's a custom thing, a free thing, which is still pretty cool. I'm a little concerned that it's going to get like C&D'd, and not because Bethesda's dicks, but because they do kind of have to protect their IP. But you can have somebody like Valve that actually supports and ends up buying the rights from the people and selling it for them, that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. So we'll see. If Bethesda owned by Microsoft now, aren't they? So probably wouldn't happen. But if Bethesda were to go and like say, hey, we'll buy this from you and we'll sell it under our name as a mod and you get a portion of the profits, that would be pretty cool. I would actually buy it for that sole reason, to just support official developer helping support a modding community in a significant way like that. Because like Black Mesa, I don't know what percentage they get compared to, but still they went from potentially making nothing to making a lot. They've got to be doing pretty well off for some of the sales on that, because if I remember right, it was highly rated.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
Okay, I think it goes over here.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
Okay, so I probably don't need to keep the rest of this here. And I can actually go and get our lip sync because it's already done. Yes, but Bethesda is supporting modders. Supporting modders in terms, but there's certain things. There's a line, like you could say that like Hasbro supports the fan art community, but if you start making something that can become confused with the original, then they probably will take action, because they can take action at anything and everything people created. It's just usually not worth the effort, and it's anything that's good advertising, so they just turn a blind eye. But if something is created that might make people think that this is an official creation, and then you have like a situation in there was a different game that came out a bit ago, and they had to completely remove a whole sideline or something because the person that made that whole thing ended up being, some of the jokes that were made were in bad taste and everything. If you start having things in that content that didn't go through the official companies, like lawyers and review teams to determine as being okay to put in their product, and somebody confuses that unofficial product as yours, now people are going to call into question, why are you allowing people to put this in something that looks like your IP? It gets into muddy waters then, and so you could see them defending it. So like Follow London, you could see them saying, okay, this is actually so good that we have to do something about it, which is stupid, or they get on board, get it reviewed, and say, okay, we can make it official. So, yeah. It's from over here. Okay, but anyways, cheers, Blair. Got my drink.
Cheers. It's kind of worth noting in Fallout that everybody was fighting, kind of every modern nation was fighting every other modern nation over oil, and everybody picked sides. But
did everybody nuke everybody?
Pretty much. When China started and the United States started nuking, every other modern nation started nuking too. So everybody started nuking everybody who had nukes, who was fighting over petroleum. And it basically, at any country that was underdeveloped, it wasn't fighting over, they would have died in the fallout, in the nuclear winter. And the only reason a lot of Americans survived was because of the vaults, which underdeveloped nations wouldn't have survived. Well, they didn't mutate or die. Now, underdeveloped nations probably would have starved to death with no contingency plan.
Antarctica. The Eskimos are okay.
Yeah, they lived on the fish. So I don't know why Eskimos are in Antarctica, but...
I don't remember if it was called helmet or what.
No, I can't remember who all was fighting who, but everybody pretty much was fighting somebody. It was all over oil. And the fun thing about Fallout is that they burned through so much of the oil fighting one another that by the end of the war, the oil was pretty much all gone. But they were still fighting.
What I like the idea behind fighting over oil is all you're doing is delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to be back in the same situation. And so instead of finding alternatives, you're turning to just... It's like fighting for scraps instead of food, instead of going and growing some.
That's what the amazing thing about Fallout is. They did find an alternative. They started powering everything with nuclear. So by the time the war ended, the thing they started fighting over wasn't even... They didn't even need it anymore. But they were so terrified of one another, and still that they wanted the other one dead. They wanted the other one gone. And it wasn't even about the oil anymore by the end of the war.
Nothing sparks innovation like war, which is stupid, but...
It's crazy that, because that's the whole thing with Fallout, is they started fighting over a thing that by the end of the war was gone because of the war. It was already super strained resource, but I think the war took place in the year 2077, which is still 76. It's supposed to be 5 years, so I guess 71? 2071? No, 76 wasn't the year it opened. That was the year it was built.
No, I think you...
I think I was right.
No, 2076 is when they get out of the vault.
I thought that was the year it was built.
No, because they're when they're leaving, they're celebrating the tricentennial.
Yeah.
So it's because this is Tricentennial Day or whatever. They're literally in the middle of a celebration.
But that vault opens 5 years after
It was very soon afterward. They were basically the first people to go out.
Yeah.
Which is, if they're going to make a game without NPCs, that's the perfect time to do it.
It was kind of the idea.
Which, it bugged me that they put NPCs in, which is controversial opinion because that was the whole thing when they made it. It's so empty and void, but when we were playing it, we always were playing with people, and so we always had people with us. It always felt like there was people. So by adding the NPCs, it added this layer of complexity that... oh, well, I got to go do this, but you can't come with me on this one. I got to go do this myself. And so it's so then it became instead of making a game that had a singular vision, it suddenly felt like I had to play a game that was going two directions, and sometimes I only wanted to be on one of it. I understand that that's what people wanted, but it wasn't what I wanted, and that was frustrating. I guess the things that I was getting out of it were the things that they were hoping people were going to get out of it.
Yeah. It was a little weird with some of the dungeons in 76, where there were some you could go in together, and then there were others you had to do solo. And it was like, this is your mission. You have to do this solo. But I had the same mission. Yeah, but you can't all do it at the same time. And it just felt broken.
It was stupid, but they were caving to people.
It just feels like they implemented it poorly too, though.
Because I just don't think they had any better way to do it. They did the best they could with what they had, and then that was it. Which it frustrates me, and I think it's stupid, but it was people that made that happen. But at the same time, people wanted another Fallout, so they went to go on to that game expecting another Fallout, even though they were told it wasn't going to be the same as the others.
Yeah.
And then people bitch enough, and then shareholders start saying, hey, you got to give people what they want, or we're going to, because blah, blah, blah.
I just don't think Fallout works that well as a multiplayer game. I think
it works pretty good. It just they put it out in a broken format, so you had a game that already was different than people expected and didn't work.
Yeah.
There was some significant bugs at the beginning.
Because what I think people wanted was just like, they made a mod for Fallout 76 where you could play multiplayer. It was a little janky, but you could play multiplayer in Fallout 76. That's just what people wanted. They just wanted to be able to do everything simultaneously together.
But what about solo players? But the point is that game wasn't meant for solo players.
It's meant for RPG.
It was meant for people that it was meant to be a multiplayer game. So it was saying it's like getting Call of Duty, jumping into a multiplayer game and asking why there's people there. Like the purpose of that game was to be a multiplayer game. So its single player experience was more minimal, and from a role playing perspective or realism perspective, that was more realistic. You were on your own, and the people that you found were the people that you brought with you. So it made sense, but at the same time, that's not what people wanted, or at least that's not what a decent amount of people wanted.
I feel like where it might have suffered a little bit early on is just
all the stuff now they've been putting out is good, but that took how many years? So
yeah, it took them a while to start getting it right. And I feel like initially, the fact that they were the first people out of the vault, that everything was robots, a lot of the lore that made the Fallout universe interesting just wasn't there. There was no Enclave, there was no Brotherhood of Steel.
No, the Brotherhood's there.
They showed up eventually.
Yeah, but that's again, it's first, I can't remember what the number was, but like in terms of meeting a person, your first impression is like 80% of what you know about the person, whether or not the rest of everything you know about them is good. The first impression always leaves a lingering effect, and I think Fallout 76 had that for a while.
It doesn't entirely make sense that the Brotherhood of Steel would have been in West Virginia from a lore perspective.
I think, sadly, the best part of Fallout 76 was the remake of Country Roads, which was a banger.
Because everybody was singing it.
It was so good. Like
it kind of really didn't belong in Fallout.
It didn't, but it was good. I did enjoy that very much. It was a very good rendition.
Because when I think Fallout, I think like anything that's 60s or newer shouldn't be in Fallout. It should be all like turn of the century to the end of the 1950s. That's the music that should be in Fallout, in my mind. Take me home. It was good though. Yes, to the place. I mean, it was perfect. I mean, if you're gonna have a game in West Virginia, I mean,
country mama. It's so good, Keep Our Cat. That song is just it's good. I love it because it's like I have a lot of songs I like that are older, but a lot of them were recorded with you can tell very old equipment, and getting a song that does a good job of following to the original, but then with like updated equipment that's very clear and good dynamics and everything, it's a lot of fun. That's like Weezer doing some of the remakes and some of those. It's like the original's still good, but I like that clarity that it gives. It's like a retro song with that new feel, and that's like felt Country Roads was too.
I do still prefer Tito's Africa.
I knew you were going to bring that up, and that was always I was hesitating whether or not.
What, to even say anything?
Yeah.
Because I might say that that's the version I prefer.
Yeah, because sometimes I know that I'm just baiting you to start going in story mode.
I'm not going story mode. I just like that one better.
There you go.
Oh, so fun. Yes, you have to get a Sony Walkman to listen to it. I do enjoy listening to stuff on records, though. I do think that's the superior format. It's just a pain. It's a real pain to listen to anything on a record.
Hi, I'm Mudpie. Welcome to Jackass.
You just gotta worry about dust, and you have to like take the disc out the sleeve. And when on computers now, you can just press a button. And it's like, or yell at your Google. I want to hear this song, and then it plays it.
Okay, well, the lip syncing is the easiest I've ever done. Done.
Hi, I'm Mudpie. Welcome to Jackass.
Because you just copied it over.
Even if I went and redid the audio, which I might do, grab a different version of the audio to make it sound different, it doesn't matter. The lip sync is the same.
It should always be exactly the same because that's how Maud would do it. She would just be.
Oh, it's got a new patron, Big Man. Well, if you're here, Big Man, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Mudpie.
I just put out the new video, and it's for early access, so I put out a thing saying, support if you want, and you get access, and you can. So it's same benefit goes to Twitch subs, too. It's on Discord, though. All right, so let's have her... She needs... Oh, okay, the camera is here, right? Yes, that's the camera.
Ooh.
Okay, so she needs to look at the camera... Oh, I need to...
I want her front half to go faster than her bottom half.
I'm basically gonna just... I'm gonna move her forward, and I'm going to stretch and bend her back so that her head and stuff kind of stays up more, but the hooves and stuff go flat. And then I just want to have her go down all the way, and then when it comes to the bottom, it's just gonna flatten back out to the normal. So, that's kind of the idea behind it.
I will watch and judge, for that is what I do. That is my task.
I could do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that now.
Do that. Do it. Do it. Why don't you? Show us your animating prowess by making her slide down that slide.
If I'm going to start poking at this, I'm going to save the lip sync separate. Okay, so what we're going to do is...
Go flip.
Okay, I'm going to have to adjust her to be at least... No, I can't, because when she's at the bottom, she's going to be different.
It's going to be a changed man. It's a life-altering experience.
I think what I'm going to do is we're going to grab her bone here. So I think that right now, where would her center of mass be? I'm thinking... Oh, I got to lock this to the slide. If I do that now, because before I lock, you can see that it's based on the world positioning, and the world positioning is basically saying whatever its X and Y zeros are. I don't want that, but if I lock it to the slide, I'm now basing it on its X and Y's, and so I now have a bone that does go perfectly forward on the root. It makes it a lot easier to do this stuff. Hello, Fiery. I have a plan to Sony Walkman NWA 105. What is that?
It's just a Walkman.
Yeah, is it just like, but I mean, is it like a newer one, or is it
just a specific one?
But is it cassette? Is it CD?
It's a Walkman. It's cassette.
Well, no, because I think they made a Walkman with CD.
Could you call that a Walkman, though?
Well, there's nothing in Walkman that says cassette.
Do you remember those things? They were awful.
Yeah.
The portable CD players. You couldn't walk with those. They'd skip every, 3 feet.
I know they were horrible, but they were
dumb.
They were a transition.
I had one in my car, and I had that thing that converts the audio to a cassette for a cassette player. So I had that sitting in my passenger seat playing a CD.
Is that a good speed?
I feel like it's too fast.
I don't want to have it so that people are bored.
But that's what Maud is. She's boredom incarnate. It's her thing.
Is that a bit better?
Yes. She just has to be slow.
I'm gonna put her like.
I just want her
back.
front half like coming down ever so slightly faster.
I know. So I right now just went in a straight line.
It gets cuter.
And so, but what I need to do is I'm gonna say from here to here, that she needs to arc to get to match up with the slide. So like this. Okay. And she's going down. And then when she hits the bottom, so where does it stop? So I can see it if I select all of it. So it's right about here to here. Now we're going to arc it up. Okay, and so now she comes down. And I will blend that to smooth it out, but I don't want to do that until... Actually, I probably should have waited for the hoof. No, actually, no, I know it's fine. It's fine. That's how I got it. All right, so when she goes down, right now, all I care about is what the middle looks like. So from the angle, so from here to about here, and then from here to there.
Chad, do you want to know how you were the coolest kid on the planet in like the early 2000s?
Ninja Turtle pies.
Yes. Well, you'd be pretty cool right now. If you brought me a Ninja Turtle pie, you'd be my new best friend.
New best friend?
Yeah, I'd get rid of you for sure.
Well, what if I brought it to you?
Well, then you could like maintain.
Do I get to be double best friend?
Maybe. You gotta show up with the pie. I want to see the pie. I want to see the pie first. But no, like if you were somebody who knew how to use LimeWire and had a CD burner, you could be the coolest dude on the planet. Because that like as far as music is concerned, like what's a song you like? And like, I like this song. Well, we're gonna start this download. Come back later today, and you're gonna have that song. And once we collect enough of them, we're gonna burn them to this CD. And you're going to have that for your truck. And be like, whoa. You're the coolest kid ever. Oh, no. It basically was horrible for your computer. It would load every known, like, malware onto your computer known to mankind at the time. But you could listen to Elton John. So, it paid off. Like, YouTube wasn't really a thing yet. You couldn't just go like, I really want to listen to this song. So
yeah, you could go buy CDs.
Yeah,
but no. Once
I was poor.
Once the once being able to go on Kazaa and Napster and stuff, LimeWire existed, the music industry was done. They were on life support at that point.
Yeah. But the only albums I ever owned was the Weird Al Food album and the Dr. Demento's Christmas album. That was it. That's all the only albums I ever owned as a kid, because we found those at yard sales.
There you go, Michael C.
Cool.
And thank you, Wiro, for the Wairu Sani, probably messed that one up, but thank you very much. Mod slide, she is sliding. She's going very slow, but that's because it's mod.
What about, do you like, are you considering my idea?
What's your idea?
Should I get, like, the front hooves kind of go a little faster than her butt, and then she kind of, like, starts to lay out flat?
No.
But it'd be really cute. Her little hooves would stick out like this.
No, but that's not mod.
No, she's just sliding. But she can't control it. It's crazy.
Whoa, she's crazy.
Right? And then she'd have like little hooves like that would stick out. And like, they're cute.
No, Michael.
I want cute things. Like it's like little hooves. Hooves are cute. They're like the way that some people like cat little, what is it they call them, beans, cat beans. That's hoops. They're adorable. Oh, it's so bumpy. She's going through the slide. You live? Well, welcome back to the world of living, Zero. Who here?
This is going to be the one I thought would be interesting.
Who here likes hooves?
Ooh, I messed up on that. That's on world rotation. I kind of messed that one up, but oh well. That might be why it actually didn't act the way I wanted it to. I'll make it work.
Why does it hurt? Why does living hurt? Because that's the price you pay to watch to watch YouTube videos. That's why we're here on Earth. Is to watch all the hot ones, all 13 seasons. It's a good show. I like that. When are we gonna get a celebrity guest and torture them? We should make our own show where we get.
I've thought about doing stuff like that, but a lot of that takes planning and stuff. But normally my planning time is I'd rather just work on stuff and get it done.
We can have a show instead of feeding them like super hot food. We can just hit them with a bat. We could be like, we brought on Cher today. Look, Cher. It's like, get ready. And then we just hit it with a bat. And that could be our show.
Do you got to put the bucket on first?
Yeah, no, mate, that's up to them. I mean, we could have like levels of bat. We could start with like a Nerf bat, and then we could work our way up to a wiffle bat, and then like a wooden bat, and then we throw an actual bat at them, like the animal, and then we then use like an aluminum bat.
There you go, Michael. Okay, so here's Mod. We're going to unlock that first, but she's got to say her thing, and then
I do like that angle. That's a good angle.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
I'll cut out because I got to the end of it, and this just goes.
I do feel like, is that where you're planning on keeping the camera at the beginning or no?
No, I was like,
I haven't zoomed in.
No, we can do like,
Putting our helmet on.
it could be like this,
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
and be like,
Yes.
like, whoa.
I like the camera just staying in one place. Because
I was originally thinking about just doing like, and the planes are kind of in the way, so I might move that, but just doing like.
Yeah, I kind of like that one angle you had earlier, where it was closer, and just kind of at the bottom
Like
of the
this?
slide. Yes, and then if she only had her hooves
Jackass.
out, I like that angle. Very cute. Because her back hooves, very cute. I like hooves.
Action camera, whoa! No, it's gonna go. Can I? Where's Mod?
Celebrity guest Adam the Amazing. Something tells me he's going to be around a lot more in the near future.
Yeah. He's yeah. Once he moves up here, we're probably doing more with Adam here.
And then I'll go away. Never see me again. That's okay.
That's kind of wobbly. The one thing I probably any of the shorts I put out, the two main complaints I hear are vertical format. People don't like that apparently, but YouTube does, and so it helps out, so whatever. But the second one is the roughness of the 15 AI voices sometimes, which I don't always hear, but
Mod's a pretty good character. I like Mod.
I just wanted to do something like woo, but I got one, but it was a little bit on the rough side. I want to be like, I wonder if I just do woo. Can I just do 3 dots? No, it's not going to let me. Oh, I just do woo, woo. And then I can just cut if I need.
Need something where she goes like, or she just had like a crazy life experience.
Woo, 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 Woo. Woo. Woo.
Oh,
She's the
that one actually sounds like she's like actually had emotion.
family daredevil.
Woo. 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 Woo.
Just ever say that was exciting in a mod voice?
Yes.
What's some?
Thought of a thing and had to shake it out of my head.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
How about
wow.
Radicat?
Wow. Wow.
Oh, radical.
Wow.
Couldn't see through the
Wow.
mic. So I made it the word
Wow.
Radicat.
Wow. Wow.
I like this one right here. We're gonna go with that
Yes. No.
one. Radical.
Want to say what
I
I'm
think
thinking.
that's still too late in his life.
Want to say what I'm thinking, but I don't know if it's a good idea.
I'm kind of thinking the last time you said something from your mind and worked out well.
Probably wouldn't. Would I keep laughing every time I think. No, what if she got to the bottom of the slide and she's just like, I peed a little?
No.
Yes. I just needed to get that out of my brain. It was really rattling around in there. It was being a butt. In Mod's voice, that actually might be funny.
Yeah. I'm not going to use it, but
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
that actually sounds really good, but it didn't sound like Mod. She was way too excited.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
That one was actually good.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting. Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
You might. I mean, it's not a bad
Holy
idea.
shit, that was
I'm
fucking exciting.
kind of down with it.
I'll save it.
No, you are ugly horse.
Ugly horse.
Thought I...
Did you? Did you though?
Maybe I didn't save it. Oh, I didn't export it yet. I imported it. I don't think I saved it. No, it says to save it. Oh, because I put Maui pie.
Maui pie. That sounds delicious. Speaking of Hot Ones, I did see Johnny Knoxville on Hot Ones for like a second, and it showed him putting the hot sauce deliberately into his eyes. That seems like a bad idea.
I don't think that man has pain centers anymore.
Yeah, but that's not even this pain center thing. That's you could have like seriously hurt your eyes. Like that's just not.
I'm pretty sure that man's been through worse. He had a catheter in it for 2 years.
Yeah, but at least he still has his eyes. I wouldn't mess with my eyes. Like that would be the one
Wow.
thing I would not mess with. Like directly.
Wow.
Life would be very difficult without sight.
Hi. I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
Chet, which is your favorite pie, sister? There are 4 of them.
Welcome to Jackass.
I'm taking a poll. That is not really a poll, but just people screaming in chat. So scream at us in chat about your
Welcome
favorite
to
pie
Jackass.
horse.
Hi. Welcome to Jackass.
Pie. Maud, of course, you love her sense of humor. She does do comedy nights. Pinky's the only one who ever seems to get her jokes. I kind of do love the interactions between Maud and Pinky because Pinky just seems to get Maud, but she's completely different from her in every way imaginable. And the same thing can be said for Maud, and they kind of point that out in the episode where she like gives her the rock candy. She's like, I don't really like this, but it makes my sister happy, and that makes me happy. And it's sweet. Why can't you do sweet things?
It requires emotions.
Yeah. Traded emotions for whiskey and rum.
That's a better emotion. Cheers to that.
Yes. It's
we had it during one of the
dehydrate.
oh yes, Cheers Zero. Where is this?
All the things. There's legit a file that says, where is it?
Oh,
Where is it?
we had this one. So we had the Mod Pie Poetry Slam.
What the heck? That graphic's amazing.
Don't you remember this?
Yes, I remember it. I just still love it.
And so we had a bunch of collection of poetry written by Titanium Dragon, and we had John read all these, and they're super, like, if rocks would talk, they wouldn't say anything because they don't have brains, they're rocks. And we would read a fic, and I think it's an hour and a half panel, and then he would do one of these, and I think we got through like here or here.
Some of these are actually pretty good.
But I like this one, like, halite is sometimes called the only edible rock, but it isn't a rock, it is a mineral, even though it is called rock salt. It is salt though. And but we read all those, and I had bongo drums, and he would play, you go ba-da-bum between each line, and but we had an intro video.
Is that you?
Does anybody know who that is?
It's either you or Kyle.
Nope. It's from a game.
No.
Does anybody know what game that is from? As long as the audio went through anyway. And I had some other guitar solos, whatever. I was going to originally do between ones, but then we ended up doing some other gimmick, and that was funnier.
Bongo drums.
You don't know? It is a very popular game.
I couldn't hear it, so.
Badlands. Close. I think I know what you're going for, but it's very close.
So it is from
Mr.
that.
Torg, there it is. Yes, Mr. Torg. Mr. Torg is an amazing character, and he does the guitar solos bit, and I had extracted them for use on other things, and so I just used it for this. Borderland, yes. I knew you were probably saying for Borderlands. Yeah, and so it was just made for a fun thing. And originally I was going to have the guitar thing between each of the ones, but then we ended up having everybody just snap their fingers to applaud the poem afterwards. And the amount of people that did that and didn't clap, it was actually hilarious. Like, that was one of the fun gimmicks we've done for those. I love doing gimmicks for those.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I just love that it just starts playing the music and it's like dun 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 dun. Well, nothing's going on.
Slide.
Oh, I need to move this to a better position though, so I don't have that grass in the way. I wanted to have it in that sun. We do like that.
Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
What's up doing that song
I
today?
don't know. It's stuck in my head, but I want it at the end of the slide. That song is definitely the tune that got like burned into every corner of my brain when I was 13.
No, you are ugly, Howard.
Okay, so we'll see how this goes. So, do we have her either say when she gets to the bottom?
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
Actually, the audio.
I love it so much.
I love the
Holy
audio
shit,
cut.
that was fucking exciting.
I just love the idea of it just
That
cutting
was
out.
fucking exciting.
I like the idea of just the over exaggeration of the experience.
Fucking exciting.
There's a couple audio files that are just corrupt. Yeah, I kind of do like it that way. Mainly because the audio literally cuts out right when she says fucking exciting, and it kind of adds to it. Actually, I had that happen in a video. This one,
I did tell you.
when I at the end here, you can see it cuts out after the explosion, and it wasn't originally intended, but the audio actually did cut out because I extended things. I forgot to extend the audio, and so it cut out just about at the time of that explosion. I found it funny, so then I just left it in. I just retimed it slightly. So sometimes it's mistakes can lead to better content. So
Yes. Sometimes they
Holy
can lead
shit,
to
that
worse
was
content,
fucking exciting.
which I'll show you after I finish my mod.
there we go. Beeping makes swearing funny.
I think it's funnier leaving the beeping out this time.
Oh, I'm going to see how it works with.
Okay.
Holy shit, that was fucking. 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 Holy shit, that was exciting.
Yeah, maybe leave the swearing in.
Yeah. I think when it comes to mod, it's just so monotone that
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
it's better.
I gotta actually do lip syncing with her though.
I know. It's crazy.
Damn it.
Puppeted.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
Oh, yeah, that's the other one. I was looking to look for. Should I have her like randomly
Wow.
just halfway through go wow? I think it's funnier to just have her say nothing.
Yes, because that's what mod is. She's just super.
I don't know which letter to start with on the search. I think I have to just start searching before the library starts opening, so then there's nothing at the beginning. Just imagine that Pinky's behind the camera. Do something like that in the
It's
future.
like she just sat the camera on the ground. She used Earth Pony magic to move the camera around.
Okay. At least it opens fast. All right, so we're going to search slide before it gets there. No.
Just need like glass, something against glass.
What would you call that sound?
It's like the finger across glass.
But that's I can't search finger across glass.
Apples app.
Oh. That's actually very close to what I want, but that's sweet window glass. But it's not long enough.
Oh, that hurts.
See, I can do this and then like
It's kind of overlap.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie.
I can do that for now, but I'm definitely going to have to add something in the future.
I can't get any squeakiness.
Look at that action shot. Holy crap.
It's like
That actually, I had to turn off motion blur. That's what I'd have that on still. I'm actually finding that I'm liking SFM work more with the motion blur completely off.
I kind of like the idea of just keeping it super zoomed in. It's super early on with like speed lines going around her, and then panning out. That's what it is.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
That would be more work. Cannot make the glass squeaky. I was trying very hard.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
Yes.
Okay, that actually might work as it is. Those did combine pretty well. Windows Streak, yeah, but it's more of thinking about what word or words would be used for a sound file for a game. More than likely, nobody's going to make an extended version of that, because I can't think of a situation in a game where you would have to have an open-ended, loss or seamless version of that. So I can see it having the sound, but it would be more of like specific to an instance, which is probably what this is in some way.
Hi, I'm a pie.
Okay, so now we need to have her look at the camera.
I'm a pie. Welcome to Jackass.
Not looking at the camera.
I'm working on it.
She doesn't want to look at you. She knows what you are. You're one of those horse fames.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
I don't think you should pull away until after the song's done.
I like the idea of you seeing the whole slide at once,
Yeah.
so that you can see what it is that she's going down. Otherwise, you might have confusion on something.
No, I like that. I just don't want her to pull out until the song is done.
Until the song is done.
Yeah.
I'm Mud Pie. Welcome
What do
to
you mean the
Jackass.
song is done?
Well, you hear that dun 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 dun, that song.
Yeah, that's at the beginning here.
Dun dun
Hi,
dun. And
I'm
then
Mud Pie.
It's blank
Welcome
right
to
now.
Jackass.
what was that song?
This is the song. So it's going the dun dun at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
And then she talks. That's how the originals do it.
Okay.
And then when it starts going back into the music is when she starts going down. Oh. I already doing what you want. Shut up.
Yes.
But thank you, Hot Rod, for the resub. He's 17 months. This is
Yeah,
how everybody doing. Or okay. This is. I thought you said this is how everybody doing. How are you doing? I'm doing well.
Yes.
Got a video coming out tomorrow. Got the podcast. I need to work on the podcast stuff for getting that out ready. I had an issue I ran into and had to redo some stuff. Anyway, that should be coming out this weekend. I'm going up north for a day. He's going to see his mom for a day or a couple days.
Yeah, day and a half.
Yeah, house stuff's going good so far. Just a couple more things to do on that, and then we're kind of good. Oh, her eyes are still the old. Did I redo her eyes for the?
I'm not doing so well. You see, I have a horrible case of exploditis, where I explode. It's an unfortunate disease, but the doctor says that the only cure is lots of derpies
I'm Mud
being
Pie.
posted in the
Welcome
derpy
to
chat.
Jackass.
That's what the doctor said. That's not. I didn't even tell him about the derpy chat. He said, if you have a derpy chat, make sure people post in it. Lots of derpies. It's the only way not to explode. So, chat, help me by posting lots of derpies in the derpy chat. Derpies! Look at those derpies. See, it helps keep down my explosion. That one, that's a reference. Eddie, I get that reference. But just look at the derpies. Look at all those derpies. Yes, they keep me from. That's a super cute derpy. Kitty Rose does the best stuff. Look at that derpy. For derpy wants a bird.
Who's this?
Because I love
What, the bird?
watching you
Who
guys.
drew this?
Is it Midprim? No, she would put her thing on.
I don't know for sure, but it kind of looks Witch Hunter.
It's not Witch Hunter.
Kind of looks Witch Hunter, but
Witch Hunter was just way more.
thank you for the bits, because I love watching you guys, and plus the derpies. And
I like them more.
no, more derpies.
More derpies.
More derpies.
The Ascend derpies.
But that is a lot of derpies. Thank you very much,
Hot
Hot Rod.
derpies. But yes, post derpies in the derpy chat. It costs nothing and it keeps me from exploding.
Just go to the beginning of Derpy
derpies.
Bureau and just start at the very first post and just go on down.
The very first post that does
Even
think
more
that's a
derpies.
picture of derpy.
There's so many derpies. Holy, there's too many derpies.
There's no such thing.
Hi.
I will explode. That kind of talk.
I think I'm going to need to put it to the beginning of the song a little bit there.
Hi, I'm Mud.
I don't want to have her like sitting there waiting or whatever. Okay, this is going to be a short, so I'm going to need to load up this thing. Thank you for the derps. I love how you just like started calling them derps, and now I have to as well.
Yes, because they are derps. Yay, more derps. Thank you, charging. Derps.
Hi, I'm.
Which means the camera's actually too close here. I guess actually it's my fault for making it derps because I put derpy there.
Yes. Well, Sunset, if you know how, any 3D model can be used in a 3D printer. It's a pretty easy thing to just convert over. I've had friends on 2 different occasions ask me to pose things in Source Filmmaker and then just port them into the format they need to print it on a 3D printer. It's not too hard. And with the revamp models, you can essentially pose a pony however you wish in Source Filmmaker, and if you know how to use Blender, you can just print it out. It's pretty nifty and paint
Holy
it.
shit, that was fucking exciting.
I want a 3D printer, but you know what would be really cool?
Well, for one, 3D printers are great, but if you get a cheap one,
I want one that can like use recycled plastic from like 2-liter bottles.
can you?
I would think. I know somebody was working on it at one point, because if you could use that plastic, like holy crap.
I don't know about that because
You just
that sounds like it wouldn't have probably the properties that would be for accurately melting and cooling correctly.
I mean, it's been
the
formed in the
filaments-
bottles.
The filament's usually built to be like certain temperatures, certain everything. And that's pure plastic. Filament isn't pure plastic. There's other stuff in there.
There is a filament that is made of plastic bottles.
Okay, yeah. So it's still a filament. You're not taking plastic bottles because it's a filament that uses recycled plastic bottles.
Oh,
So somebody's made the filament.
well, I want the thing that makes the plastic bottles into the filament as well as the 3D printer.
That would be more expensive than the device. You would have to have a furnace that would completely melt it all down. You would also have to wash and clean every piece of plastic to ensure that nothing is on there but the filament. Then once it's melted down, you would then have to have the machine file it into an actual filament string.
Yes.
That would be more expensive than the 3D printer, mainly because of mass production reasons. Those aren't going to be made as much. You're going to pay the premium for it.
It's like wandering around, crushing dreams of children.
Do you ever get annoyed of listening to something over and over again from animating? Nope. I used to. Been years since I did that. I don't anymore because it's about timing. If I just mute it, I don't get the timing down. So like if I want to have the head bob at a specific time, I can't guess it, so I have to hear it. And so I've just gotten used to hearing it over and over and over and over and over again. It's not a problem to me. And actually, I kind of like that too, because sometimes it lets it kind of get ingrained in my head where I can start coming up with other ideas for things because I don't even have to see it anymore. It's just there, and I can start thinking of other ways to do things. So, no, it's not a problem.
I've been listening to the same Bare Naked Ladies album for the last 2 weeks at work.
I'm Mud Pie.
Like just over and over
Welcome
and
to
over and over again.
Jackass.
Keeps me on track. It's a good album.
Jackass.
Can't remember the name of it. Has that song Aluminum on it. I like that song. It's a good song.
White Bare Naked Ladies.
I don't know. I was thinking of one of their songs, and then I wanted to listen to that, and then I just started listening to the album. And you know what? It's a good album. They're a good group. I never really listened to them before, but you know they got some good stuff. They still release albums. I think they released an album last year. I haven't heard it, but. I saw a guy make an easy setup on TikTok on how to make plastic bottle filament. Well, TikTok's got it figured out.
Yeah, but that still sounds like you're going to go through a lot of process and time to do it.
But imagine never having to go out for or buy the filament you need to make plastic bottles. You just go and buy, or you just go get plastic bottles.
You just said,
well,
I don't want to buy it, so instead I have to buy something else. Then now I have to put the work into it.
I would be able to get all the plastic bottles I need just from the water bottles people throw out at work.
You would probably, I'm guessing, Hot Rod, that it involved a very specific cleaning process to remove every bit of sugar possible.
Sugar from the water bottles?
No, even probably the water bottles to a degree, because there's probably some kind of a covering they did on it.
I had to get my lipstick off the bottles.
And you'd probably have to remove all the labels and all the glue that was on where the label was.
Just put them in the dishwasher.
Then you're adding more to that process. And is the washer going to get rid of glue?
Yeah, it's going to get super hot. It's going to melt it off.
No, it's not. Do you know how much time I find stuff still left in there because it just didn't have access to the water? It's not about heat.
Not glue.
It's easier than glue.
I think it would probably get the glue off. You went overboard on purchasing fireworks? I used to do that when I was younger. I used to buy, I think I spent $1,000 on fireworks one year. And then it's like, ooh, pretty. And then you realize, I did it a few years and I started realizing, I just blew up $1,000 in an hour. Yeah. I can't justify fireworks anymore.
I just realized that
it's too expensive. You can just get a road flare and just throw it as high into the air as you can. That's pretty cheap. And that goes a while.
Where's the slide?
Do you want to do that with me this 4th?
No.
Want to go and get some road flares and just keep tossing them into the air? It's like a sparkler that'll go for a solid hour. Get him out of a traffic safety kit.
Yes.
No, I get that it's not your channel. Now, I just like the idea of because I'm guessing once you buy the 3D printer, that filament's not cheap. But at the end of the day, it's just plastic. So if you could just get some way to use the plastic we are constantly surrounded by, that alone, if somebody could figure out that technology and make it affordable, and then everybody had 3D printers, honey, I need more plastic to make my pony collection complete. Only 3,000 more to go. You'd be like,
Holy shit,
there'd be no plastic left. People would be scrounging through scrap yards who was foolish enough to throw out a whole plastic bottle?
But all that would be doing is incentivizing the continued use of plastic. Because what happens if we find a renewable resource that would be better than plastic?
We have, and we don't use it.
But what if we did?
Called paper.
Yeah, well, but now you're saying, but now there's a market for it, so we need to keep making plastic.
That's what my pony.
And plastic can only be recycled so many times before you can't recycle it anymore.
You don't keep recycling the ponies. How dare you? You're gonna throw ponies back into the melting device? You are evil. He's evil, Chad.
I can't wait to go to the Rainbow Factory.
You do. You see, recycling.
It's recycling orphans. Nobody wanted them anyways. It's kind of fun watching her bounce around in there. He's very durable.
He's very happy about it. Yeah, it's really smart. But 1 kilo of PLA filament is $50 to $120. It could be, but I'm guessing whatever process you have to go to get it is going to be a bit, and the quality of the plastic. It's say somebody goes and grabs, because there's 6 different types of plastic. Say if they grab a plastic that isn't PLA or whatever, or the level 1, and they grab something they grab a yogurt container or something and try to do it with that, and then it jams up and gums up the machine, then they're gonna sue the company or something, or say oh, you broke my machine, you need to fix it, and they're gonna be well, you didn't use the right plastic.
I don't get to sue now if I shove a peanut butter sandwich into my machine and go.
You could sue for anything.
Yeah, but it won't stick. Unlike
Yeah,
that
but it
peanut
can't-
butter sandwich.
But you still have to deal with it. So,
You know,
and if enough people go through it, that they're gonna say there is an issue. So,
seems like the person's fault. As long as they put clear instructions.
they're a plastic replacement made from algae, but it's not cost efficient until a lot of companies start using it. But even then, so
There's a whole lot of options that could be used instead of plastic now.
there's a lot of things you can say. It's like the one problem with electric cars, though, is electric cars are great. It would be great to see like every car be replaced with electric, but then our grid would be overloaded, which means now you have another problem of you don't have enough electricity going around. So then you have to super beef up our electricity grid, but most of it's under coal. So are we just going to increase the amount of coal? Then that really doesn't feel like you're offsetting much. It's better than gas, but you're not really doing much about it. So you can say like, oh, we'll replace it with algae. Well, then if suddenly algae use exploded, where's the production methods for using a shitload of algae? Are we going to start making algae farms? Is there areas that are set up for this? Just because something is different than plastic, do we have the ability to mass produce it on a large scale like that?
I mean, if we drank everything out of paper cartons, the issue would be solved right then and there. But people don't like those.
But then
if we pretty,
but if we did all paper, where are we getting the paper?
we can get paper.
Yeah, we're going to cut down more trees.
If there's tree farms, we don't really harvest trees except for
Yeah, but if you
furniture out of the
suddenly
forest
increase it by
anymore.
threefold.
We decreased it immensely when everything went electronic.
I know, but but then that just means that they cut down production. But now they have to ramp it back up again. So if we start cutting down more trees, are we going to start going down to too much deforestation again? Because you can't just suddenly increase something and not expect something to give on it.
Well, I'm just saying we've already decreased the amount of trees.
We have decreased,
quite a bit.
But now if say some of those lands are protected or something, and now we can't touch them. Well, now they got to go to some other ones or some other country to do it. And it's we're better about that stuff now, but it's still like you can't just up something production wise by 3 or 4 times and say it works.
We should make all containers out of the skin of gingers.
Oh, yeah, I moved that and then I moved it back.
He's ignoring me now.
I moved it over, but then it was I didn't select all of time. Oh, and I just selected the camera.
I mean, we could be using glass bottles, but they are too heavy to transport and they break. And then if people want to use paper, but paper doesn't show off the product as pretty, so they don't want to use that. So they want to use something clear, something light, and plastic fits the bill. And I don't know. It's just, I think people need to start changing their mentalities.
Yeah, but as long as we have the infrastructure in place to make it something that we can actually harvest in any decent amount of,
Yeah.
because any industry
Paper would be the obvious answer.
any industry that jumped up had a sudden production increase of 10 to 20% would be in a struggling position. If you replace all plastic with paper, you're looking at 2, 3, 4 times as much, and that would just the industry right now wouldn't be able to handle it because they wouldn't have enough loggers.
Switch over slowly, but we could handle
It would take decades to get fully moved over. Where's the equipment? Where's the logging machines?
It already exists. They just need more of it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You'd have to build them all. But what do you use to build those? Other natural resources, other metals, other things. And then you would have to eat up a huge amount of land, which is already an issue, to keep these wood farms that could be recycled. And in saying like harvest, then regrow and go back and forth.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, I know, but then how much land are you going to consume?
Yeah, probably about the same amount they were back when we were.
Oh, probably way more. If all plastic was gone, probably way more because we have a lot more
We
people.
didn't really have plastic everything.
But then what do we do with the cardboard and stuff that we're already done with, or the paper?
We recycle it.
But you can only recycle paper so many times.
You can recycle everything in the cardboard a billion times. It's just going to come out cardboard again.
It's going to start getting pretty crappy over time because some other
a darker shade of brown.
It's going to just be poop.
Poop board. You ever got cardboard wet? It just turns into poop.
But if it depends, because if they started burning it, then we'd just be increasing CO2 for the burning of that too, which is better than burning plastic. But
yes,
let's turn into Thanksgiving.
Just nobody wants to drink Pepsi out of a paper carton.
Oh, sorry, right. I got it.
Can you imagine drinking Pepsi out of a paper carton? It'd be weird.
You got to use the other half of the lime.
Yes.
Sometimes it's cool, but Argo's correct. You're just going to gunk up the printer, and it's going to do shitty quality if you take plastic from containers. I could see where you could make the filament and then offset like 20% of it for a type of plastic. or something, to where you're reducing the raw resource by increasing some other recycle, which is a lot of places do with paper. They want a certain quality of paper, but recycled paper might not do that, so they'll mix in like 20 or 30% recycled instead. So you can do something like that maybe. But recycled plastic too, like say you have a green bottle. Do you want green filament? I mean, you're kind of stuck with the color at that point. Clear could work, but then what if you do want a colored filament? You have to mix it in with that, and which might be possible, but if it's already a colored filament, you can maybe make a green, but maybe people want specific greens. So colored bottles would start becoming difficult, I think, to work with.
I just want the fever tree, so I don't think you have enough ginger for your load.
That's fine. Actually, I think if I'm just going to put her eyes down here and then playhead it there. Oh, she's still locked, isn't she? No, she's not locked. Oh, that's why. Okay, we'll just there. Now we just do it.
Holly. I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
I feel like this angle has a problem. It's a slide, but we're able to see more to the left and right than the viewer can. Right now, we can't see much of this ladder. I'm thinking I might need to widen this out a bit. Because without, I don't know if I would... Yeah, that's a little bit more representative of a slide. Because here, we can see this bit, but with somebody else won't. And so this at least shows it goes to the ground. But I'm lazy and I'm tired of calibrating. Yeah, that's that too. Well, you have to clean it thoroughly and dehydrate plastic to make sure it doesn't gunk up. Plus, this has to be on average, let's say 2.2 to 2.0 millimeters thickness. Yeah, see, that's where there's a lot of effort to try to do it from home. And most people don't like effort. Plus, every time you remelt plastic, you lose polymers, which decreases usability. Plastic bottles can only be used 1 or 2 times. Yeah, and I believe that's only plastic 1 or maybe 2. And even that, I don't think any of the others would work. But yeah, I know normally plastic is not infinitely reusable. Glass bottles use the same concept of mixing raw silicate with recycled glass. Yeah, I see glass being a little bit easier because glass is just melted down sand, so I can see that kind of being an easier thing to recycle. But I can see the process for recycling glass being difficult because of the heat stuff that is required. Like I was saying, they mix a lot of raw materials in when recycling, so usually offsets lost polymers by adding and making more. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I know they did that with paper, so that's why I was pretty sure they do it with plastic and stuff too.
Holy shit, that was fucking that was
Alright. Let's be right back.
Thank you, Michael.
was fucking exciting. Exciting. Holy shit, that was fucking exciting. Exciting. Fucking exciting.
Okay.
Holy shit, that was fucking...
I'm not going to animate her head with this because the lip syncing gets hard then. Nothing is going to be recycled 100%. There's always loss. Well, yeah, it's the same thing with like energy. You can never, well, other than superconductors, but I guess that's just a transfer of electricity, not the actual use of electricity. But no process in the use of something or the recycling of something is ever 100%. There's some kind of a loss because if you make heat in any way, that heat came from somewhere. That was energy. So, yeah. not saying anyone is wrong. Oh no, it's a topic that definitely has a lot of information from 100 different places. Okay, so her lip syncing there is done. Let's just how much time we have? I could probably get her lip syncing done here. Thankfully, this is an actual normal horse. Celestia was a little bit interesting. Well, yeast tire chunks have to be devulcanized in order to mix with raw materials. 40% max recycled material, I believe. Yeah, and that's still better than nothing. But it's the waste will always happen, and we're
just gotta figure out what we're wasting, how much of it.
Yeah, there's always going to be waste, and you can minimize as much as possible. But eventually, you'll get to a point of the world will look like Wall-E.
Well, I mean, one of the solutions would be using reusable containers for everything, kind of like how we use the...
Yeah, because then you're not recycling.
Yeah.
But even then, well, for one, good luck in a capitalistic environment.
Yeah.
To try to make something that's reusable.
It's like the Cantor things we use at Sociable?
Yeah, but if like a normal company that sells those was trying to profit, they would find a way for it to spring a leak. Like suddenly a hole would pop up in the side or something.
These last for a whole 2 weeks before they explode.
Yeah, it's because they want you to buy new ones, but even then, like some of the reusable containers, you're going to have to clean them a lot then, which requires the use of cleaning materials, which use chemicals that are not replenishable.
I just put hot water through mine.
But then you're using water, but that water is going through a filtration system that then hits some place that is chemically treated. So there is some waste always in everything you do.
Just not nearly as much as a plastic bottle or even a paper container.
Yeah, it's not about going to zero. It's about trying to get closer to zero. But I've seen it where there's like a guy that was so super conscientious. He was one of those. He was kind of a terrorist in terms of some of the things he would do, of like blowing up facilities that were doing certain things, like that kind of thing. And he was at home and he was washing his plastic bags in Ziplocs. Mm-hmm. So he would keep only like 6 of them, and he would wash each one of them out. But like that's getting to the point of there's still waste involved, but I can understand there's a certain limit.
Holy shit.
Heat energy is the hardest to capture. The Bugatti Veyron makes 30,000 horsepower technically, but 2,000 horsepower of the 3,000 is heat energy, but it is lost through the exhaust. That's why electric cars are great, though, is because most cars, I think, only get like 30% of the energy out, but electric cars... I've heard
like 80%.
Yeah, I've heard 100% thrown around, but I know that's impossible. But yeah, they're much higher. So for an equivalent amount of energy, they can put out a lot of power.
It's kind of like comparing an incandescent light bulb to an LED. The amount of energy that's lost in a combustion engine is kind of a lot. Electric uses exactly what it needs and nothing more. There isn't all the heat that's put out. There isn't
They have the electric cars in the winter have to create extra heat to just keep itself warm.
Yeah.
So there is some waste heat there. I mean, comfort things.
If you're living around the area, that's an issue. But if you're living in like the lower half of the country, less of an issue.
One of my old bosses had one of the beefier Teslas, and he said that his gas mileage was about a little more than half in the winter here. So if you had a 200-mile car, expect to maybe get 100 miles out of it. You're still burning through the whole battery, but it's all this other crap that it's trying to do to just not freeze.
I'm thinking if you're like living in this sector of the world, you're probably, the chances are, not everybody, but a lot of people have garages. But so that'll help offset it.
But it's not just from parking. It's driving because the air that's hitting it, and because normally it's a normal car is about keeping itself cool, and an electric is about keeping itself warm.
I know still not that many people who are driving nearly as long as they're parked.
But that was there was a thing I was watching. It was a very interesting video, mainly because of some of the other stuff that goes with. And I brought up this guy before from Technology Connections. And he covers a video about streetlights. And
making wallpaper.
This one, This one, I think this one,
Aren't they halogen salt or something?
they were talking about, but the one thing that he goes into with that is he was talking about how there was, actually, I had that wrong.
It's like a heated salt light or something.
It's this one right here. There's just one small problem, and the danger of but sometimes. And it was where they're talking about where the old lights would burn a ton of heat. And so they were great in the winter because the heat kept all the ice off. But then when they switched to LEDs, which were very low waste and therefore didn't freeze over, the ice would build up on them and it could make it hard to see them. And so that they were using that as a reason to change back to halogen or the old ones because they're like, yeah, but those ones, we didn't have that problem. So they ignored 100 positive things because sometimes it's an issue in this situation, which you could easily just put like a small heating wire there that in certain situations would just turn on, melt the ice, and then turn off again. Still way more efficient. But people are like, but sometimes, and then they said, we need to go back to the old system. And it's like, no, but the amount of times we have crap like that is like, well, we can't go to that new system because sometimes this happens. Yeah, but what about all the other times?
I think, speaking of electric cars, I don't know if anybody's looked into it, but they're starting to replace the lithium-ion batteries with these cool, like you bringing up the sodium lights. They're these sodium-ion batteries, which are a little heavier, but way cheaper to make. There isn't a lot of facilities making them yet. I think Tesla's already using them, but it's pretty exciting that the batteries that we need to power the future could be made from something as simple as salt.
But we're getting such great battery technology because of some of the greener energy stuff in electric cars. Tesla helped push things forward. Tesla's a bitch, and I don't like Tesla, but
I don't want to give Tesla that much credit. Panasonic invented the first batteries that Tesla uses. Tesla was simply the manufacturer that first started getting those batteries and putting.
Anybody that's doing it is helping increase demand, and by increasing demand, you're increasing funding to make those things. Yeah. So everybody doing it helps boost everybody forward.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Panasonic's the one who made the big jump. It could have been anybody that they put their cars into. Tesla was just the one they got.
Tesla Tesla was the one that made it visible and made people want it.
They marketed it really well. I don't think they even get their batteries from Panasonic anymore. I think it's some Chinese company that basically copied Panasonic's tech. But
I thought they developed their own battery or built them all in house, but I don't remember anymore. Tesla's fucking weird.
A little bit. But no, I am pretty excited about the sodium-ion tech because one of the big problems with lithium is that it's not super common. There's only a few places that it's mined. Salt, on the other hand, is freaking everywhere.
What I want to see is the non-electric batteries, though. Like when they're talking about like solar cells, where they take a large piece of land and lift it.
Like the dams.
Yeah, or it's kind of like a dam, but it's this. They take like a round piece of land that they cut out that's huge, and during the day they run pumps that raise it up, and use whatever other energy to power whatever thing around, and then at night when the solar goes away, they let it start going down, and it will, gravity is pulling it down, the gears will spin and it will power things that way. So it's storing and it's using gravity instead. Because you still have some issues there.
I don't know how efficient that would be, though.
It's not about being efficient. It's about, but a battery is, you have to replace it.
It uses expensive.
It uses rare earth items.
For right now,
you're just using earth.
Yeah.
So it's even if it's more expensive, it is infinitely scalable to a degree.
Yeah. But I think that's interesting as a solution now. But I'm super excited about those salt batteries. Those salt batteries are going to be so cheap to produce. Like the raw materials are cheap once enough facilities get built. If I had my phone, I'd look up the one that Tesla's using, but I left those upstairs. You're excited about the nuclear diamond batteries? You know, it is kind of fun looking at those old nuclear-powered cars. I wouldn't mind driving one. I wouldn't want anybody else driving one.
The one, another YouTuber I've actually been watching is, if you've never heard Kyle Hill, he used to do Because Science, but he does these videos on nuclear things, like usually on different accidents, and some of them about being, this is a real thing that happened, this was very bad. But other ones, like he put out one a couple days ago about the 3 Mile Island incident, where he basically saying this wasn't that bad. It was barely nothing.
Just happened in
America. But miscommunication. Well, no, it wasn't even that bad at all. Like even they said it was an accident. That was it. And it goes, but they handled it and it was fine. But the amount of communication that happened around it was so bad that it scared the shit out of people. It was so much miscommunication, people thinking there was going to be explosions, them doing evacuations before it was really needed. It was all this stuff that happened, and it's saying like, here's, if you want to know why people are afraid of nuclear things, here it is. And Chernobyl happened after 3 Mile, I think. Because before then, I think they said before 3 Mile, it was considered to be that nuclear was safe.
Yeah.
And nuclear is safe. Especially, but back then there was just some stupid things people did. Nuclear nowadays, pretty goddamn safe, especially for the output you get. The amount of deaths per nuclear incident is significantly lower, even if you factor in the difference in how much power.
They are having a lot of trouble with waste management as far as nuclear is concerned, which has me concerned. But
that's where fusion and stuff. But they even did the math on that, and he did a video talking about, is nuclear a power source that we should scale up? And waste was brought up, and he says yes, because coal is also making waste, and we're breathing it in.
Well,
and they went and did all the skill on that, and like what you're doing is you're delaying the global warming so that we have the time to develop something that might work better in replacement of nuclear. Because if we don't, coal is going to kill us faster than anything nuclear would. So we need to swap to this, so we have the time to start looking into fission and all these other things.
I think we definitely should switch to nuclear in a lot of cases. I just wish they would do better about managing it and get it. What's that facility called? It's like the Yucca Mesa or something. Somewhere, I think it's in Arizona. But they built this whole facility for all the nuclear waste,
and then they
never used it. Because the thing that got hung up on is, okay, so how do we get it to the facility? Everybody's like, oh, we put it in a train. Well, what if the train crashes? Well, we keep it all in a safe container. Yeah, but what if it fails? And then it became that whole thing.
But sometimes.
But sometimes it happened.
Well, and not even about, well, I mean, eventually something will go wrong, but I remember, I think they talked about that in that video, about future stuff, and they said that train car could go off a cliff, fall to the bottom of the ocean, and it would still be fine. Like, those train cars were built to take everything.
Yeah.
Like, even, well, okay, I was going to say something, but I actually can't talk about it. But about other stuff. But yeah, it's fine. And there's always going to be a problem, but it's like, but is it better to just spew gases into the air that our kids are going to have to deal with?
Killing us.
Yeah, it's like, do you deal with the thing that might be a problem, or do you deal with the thing that is a problem?
Well, it all comes down to that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, even if the devil you don't know is much better and won't kill you as quickly. It's kind of that mentality. If this was a debate about using like coal over nuclear, because we'd been using nuclear everywhere for the longest time, there wouldn't be a debate. We'd just keep using nuclear because we know it's safe. We would never switch over to coal based on the dangers.
If coal, if suddenly they found a crap load of coal and it was significantly cheaper, people wouldn't be looking at it as an environmental issue because there was no environmental issue. And then they would be like, well, we got all this nuclear waste, but if we do this, there is no waste. So I could see that they would fight the other direction. You're going to use something until it's a problem, and we're just on one of those sides.
Yeah,
so.
Maybe. Nuclear can be very clean and cheap if done right. The facilities are far more expensive to build. The initial investment is more, but the long-term investment is more.
When I was going alongside store beside the temperature of the nightly weather forecast, used to have background radiation levels. They stopped with cell phone radiation and started spiking the readings. So yeah, because there's always background radiation. I think they said that most of the people in the area of the 3 Mile had in like the 20 years or 30 years since, that they expected that there would be a 0.7 increase in amount of cancer in the area. 0.7 people. So in that amount of time, less than one person would have gotten cancer. So it's there. And they said like the amount of radiation they went through was not much different than just getting a CAT scan or something. And so, but again, if they would, the amount of negligence that happened during that event was pretty freaking stupid. Of like, there was warning lights, but one of them was covered by a yellow label.
I know my
and stuff. So.
There's a large coal power plant that was kind of near where I used to live, right on the Ohio River. And my grandmother told me stories about how she was very, very proud that she fought, out picket signs, all that stuff, to get that plant built, because they were going to build a nuclear power plant. But, I guess, I don't know what her reasons were. I'm guessing it had a lot to do with, get out and protest.
She was around during the 3 Mile thing. That would make sense.
No, yeah. They were like,
that's not her fault.
It's going to explode and kill us. So they...
Well, if it explodes, I don't... if you're next to it or you're not, you're fucked in some way or another.
Yeah. Well, that was just the thing.
And it
the
won't
whole fear
explode.
Around it. No, it wouldn't. But
Chernobyl was gross negligence, and there was negligence in 3 Mile, but now, no, there isn't. We're fine.
No, but she was very proud, telling me the story about how they fought and won and got they never built the nuclear plant, and they built the coal one instead. And then I'm looking at her as an adult and being just like, I don't consider that a good thing. So.
From her mentality, it's a good thing, but
yeah, no, she presented.
There was the information on that stuff is just so bad. We're getting better about it, and I think that our generation knows better now. Well, we don't have that fear that other people had. The technology's got much better. Fission is getting to be looking promising.
Getting close. They're just having a hard time finding materials that can withstand the heat for long term.
Well, and also just to give a positive return that's good.
Yeah,
because they're getting it to be a sustained reaction, but if you're losing more energy than you're gaining, but they're working their way there. They're getting the information.
I was watching the one in England, and the problem they're having is they can get it to run, and they've gotten it to run for a bit, but then they go in there and some of the plates are damaged every time because they just can't take the heat.
Well, anything is going to kind of
but if you wanted to run for more than a few more, if you have it running for a couple seconds and it takes damage, you can't have it running indefinitely or even for long periods of time to produce heat in any size. Like, they can create the fusion reaction and they can contain it, just not that long. They're working on it. They're figuring it out. They got some eggheads figuring it out. No, it's just a different mentality. That plant got built before I was born. So,
yeah. Don't worry, kids. You don't have to deal with this minor amount of radiation that you would get from eating a banana. Now you only have to deal with the black smoke.
Yes, the black. And every time we drove past it, I was always kind of fascinated by just the amount of smoke that would come billowing out of that thing. It's impressive. If you've ever been next to a coal power plant, like a large one, it produces a very impressive amount of smoke.
They're supposed to have scrubbers on there and stuff too, but who
well, that's
knows?
why the smoke's white instead of black. But still a lot.
Colors that are allowed scare me. That does sound like America way. I like what I've heard about thorium reactors, but finding.
Well, no, it's just that thorium can't be used to make bombs, so they didn't build the reactors to use it. They built it to use uranium.
Yeah, but I thought even thorium was hard to get.
I don't know that it is.
Because I would think that at this point they don't care.
Yeah, but all the plants that exist were built to use uranium. You'd have to build a different plant.
For instance, style nuclear is safe and way cheaper. Every plant is designed the same, so you can interchange parts and staff. They're also smaller plants and much safer. design that produce almost no waste. Nuclear can be very clean and cheap if done right. Oh yeah, because cheap is about making something that's mass producible, and that's probably what they did. I know France was very good about they went all in on nuclear, but I think what helped with them was they probably were in a very rough spot after World War II, having to rebuild, and that was just after nuclear was popping up. So probably was an infrastructure benefit at that time. Same thing like how the railways are better in Europe because they had to rebuild them all after World War II, and America's just sucked because they weren't.
It was like, why fix it? It works kind of mentality, and then it got super antiquated and run down, and then we still didn't replace it. It's crazy how the country that had all the resources after the Second World War did the least with them. We got rich, I guess.
America?
Yeah, after the Second World War, because we were the last like large power that was capable of mass production for a little while. We had about 20 years until everybody was essentially rebuilt, and then we had to start competing again.
Yeah, most of the people... America had a big benefit for a while, but that benefit, we're feeling it catch up with us now. Because they had a boon of population and everything was great, but then
baby boom,
everything that they built and did design for them at that point was for them, and now everything is still designed for that group, and we're making it difficult for the people now.
Yeah,
like when everything's an investment because everybody's looking to have a great retirement, and they're now at retirement age. Well, now everything's super expensive because they held on to it as an investment, and everything's built in as an investment. So.
Ooh, this has actually been a fun conversation. I like talking about energy. Energy is fun to talk about because there is a lot of progress in energy.
There wasn't for a long time, but yeah. I think the shift in control to a different generation has been helping push some of that.
Well, different mentality and just advances in battery technology and just nuclear stuff, I guess. Like, when I was growing up, LEDs were becoming a thing, and they were like significantly better in every way compared to incandescent lights. They were more expensive at first, but after a while, they got cheaper. But there was still, like, I even remember watching TV shows that were just tearing into LED lights because the light wasn't the same or didn't look as nice or some nonsense to fight for the things the way they were, because that's how they were used to them.
But these new lights, they're white. I don't want white. Well, we made new ones that are yellow. But that's not a real yellow. I prefer the color of salt.
No, what was the show? I remember watching an episode of The Last Man Standing with Tim Allen, where it's a whole episode with them just complaining about LED lights and trying to find ways to buy incandescents. Like, because LEDs the light's just not as good. Doesn't make their skin look as nice or some nonsense. That's what the whole episode was about. It was just weird, and it's just that kind of... It's a weird mentality. But my dad was like that.
Michael... Yeah, you're that way.
What am I holding on to? What, this haircut? What is it? I don't even know.
You've had plenty of things of like, it works. Just keep it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's just a thing,
incandescent works.
Poorly.
It works.
Very poorly comparatively.
I'm surprised that you don't just toast bread by just taking 2 electrical wires and putting it to both sides of the bread and being, it works.
Might work.
Just don't touch it.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
Toast bread on lots of things.
There we go.
I have just tossed bread onto the eye of a stove before.
There, Michael.
Have you ever done that?
Michael.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
You're pretty much done. Exciting. You finished it while we were having our energy conversation.
No, I just did the lip syncing. No, she has to still be cleaned up a little bit.
Hi, I'm a
and there's a little nuance there.
I'd be interested to watch that one video, the but if video.
The but if?
Yeah.
But you mean but sometimes?
But sometimes.
Most of it goes into. Is still that open? Oh, it's still gonna be open. Oh no, it won't be. Oh no, that's
Kyle Hill. I'll find it.
no. It is Technology Connections.
Okay.
I like him because he's snarky.
Yeah.
And he has one of my favorite phrases. It's like he'll be showing how to do something and he'll tear it apart. And he goes, and through the magic of buying two of something. And I love that phrase.
Through the magic of two.
No, he's snarky. He's Midwestern because he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And so he's old fashioned about things, but he also knows when some things are just fucking stupid and when they should be better. So he's a big proponent for electric cars and stuff.
It's all thing.
But his stuff is pretty fun. Goes into like old cameras, how Technicolor works.
Yeah.
And like the technical stuff behind that, and it's fun. I like his stuff.
Technicolor still used a lot.
Or like, he went in a thing about dishwashers, and then people had complaints, so he made a whole follow-up video about like shut up, like because this is
Early dishwashers were pretty crappy, but
well, though he was talking about whether or not you put pre-wash in. It was 20 minutes.
Pre-wash?
It was like a 20-minute video about how dishwashers work and pre-wash. Because there's a little spot in there for pre-wash and about when you should and when you shouldn't, and reading the instruction manuals compared to what people actually do. And it's like 20 minutes on this like rant about things and like looking at everything. And it was really interesting. Then he had to do a follow-up because people still were kind of being butts about it. And it was fun. He's just fun to watch. Very entertaining for doing like just technical stuff.
I don't think I could live in a place anymore without a dishwasher. I grew up just washing dishes in the sink because my parents didn't have a dishwasher. And I never want to do that again. I'm done.
So you remember LED were sold off as a bulb that never burnt out. Oh, they'll still burn out, but compared to incandescent, they're essentially forever.
They're it's a light emitting diode. They will work until they malfunction. That's really all it is. Once they'll go out occasionally, but you can very well have one that you can plug in, turn on, come back 100 years later, it'll still be on. As long as it doesn't malfunction. But yeah, they malfunction sometimes. They're electronics. They break.
Yeah, nothing can last forever. Things are going to break, manufacturing default issues and whatever.
If you put in a fluorescent light bulb, that can essentially do the same thing if it's completely leakless, which would be hard and you get lucky. But no, LEDs, when they say a 10-year lifespan, that's probably like the bare minimum. They could go way longer.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, the LEDs in here have been out in for like 2-something years. Some of them are Wi-Fi, so they're a little less. But I've never had one of those burn out. Don't think even at the apartment I've never had an LED burn out.
Yeah, no,
they're not even that expensive anymore.
No, they're like $1 a piece.
Yeah, used to be. I mean, if you want fancy Wi-Fi colors and stuff, you're going to pay a little bit more. But even that's getting cheap. If you go on the cheaper end, for sure. Yeah. If you go some of the fancier ones for color accuracy or something, which can be nice, but I think the cheap ones I have here, you have the same ones I do, right?
Yeah,
those ones. Actually, pretty damn good color accuracy,
piece, yeah.
And they do the brightness I need. So,
and the thing I remember, here's a bit of a story.
You switched to liquid distribution or the pods. I think he did say that the pods can work, but there is a benefit to liquid. Yeah,
I think there's a huge benefit to the powdered stuff.
No, he was basically saying in his stuff of the powder or the liquid are better, and that the pods are fucking stupid.
I'll stop buying the powder.
No, because like he went the whole thing of how they dissolve and whatever, because like the beginning of your cycle is super important, but this thing dropping in there takes time and stuff, but then it's mixing everything at once. Like he goes into the whole thing. He even like tore apart a dishwasher, put in glass so he could watch it dissolve and whatever. But he was saying, the pods are stupid, especially since you can't pre-wash.
I'll do the powder because that's just cheaper.
I always did pods because they were just convenient.
They were convenient, yeah. I mean, it's not that hard to pour the powder into the little thing, but
no, but there is there's convenience to it. Plus, I like being able to put it in, close it, and then worry about doing it running later. But but no, there is benefit to it.
Well, you can put the powder and close it and worry about it later.
Yeah, but the pre-wash is that little slot above it that is not have a cover.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to put that in, then run it because it'll run the pre-wash first, then it will clear out all the water, and then dump the rest. But that's only when you do a certain mode. Yeah. Most dishwashers now, like some of the newer ones, don't.
Open immediately.
No, they just don't. Like there's no pre-wash mode, but it's still technically better to put it in first. Countertop dishwashing machine. I loved it. I hate washing utensils. Countertop dishwashing machine. What do you mean by countertop? Like
I have one that goes into the countertop.
Okay. That's what I have now too, and that's where we're going to. We'll have one. I thought you meant like it was something like a top loading dish, like countertop.
That'd be weird.
That would be super. Like I want to have it where you hit a button and it's like.
Oh wow! It just pops up.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be like ultra expensive and break 5 times a year.
Yeah.
But
no, I remember when I was young. I'd say when I say young, I was probably like 19, 20, and this is back when LED bulbs were kind of very new. And my uncle Stan, who was always super big on like the latest technology, the newest clean energy, he bought a single light bulb as a gift to my grandparents, which he gave them, and it didn't look anything like an LED bulb now. It looked like a tube that had a bunch of LEDs on the outside of it, like that you could see each individual LED that was kind of wrapped around it, and it cost him $40.
Early adopters tax.
Yeah. And he gave it to them and he's like, it's a light bulb that'll never go out. I guarantee you some of the LEDs on that thing would have gone out because that thing was
early
jank.
tech.
It was really jank looking. Like I've bought LED lights like that and they're pretty jank.
Before it was about the cost of or the LED was going to be so much more expensive that it was still better to go incandescent.
Yeah.
But now the cost of LEDs are so cheap that it is cost effective to buy LED.
Well, when the LEDs got to a certain point of cheapness, most places just almost overnight got rid of the fluorescents. Like you cannot find those in a lot of places anymore. You can still find some incandescents, but you'd be hard pressed to still find fluorescents. Because why? Why would you buy a light bulb that's going to be the same cost, that uses more energy and has a lower lifespan? Nobody in their right mind would buy that light bulb. So, like, fluorescents they had their time in the sun. It's over.
Hi, I'm Mud Pie.
Like, incandescent should be over too, but that's just old people clinging to them. And they are still slightly cheaper.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
Okay, her tail I need to fix when she gets to the bottom here.
Yes. She got good tail. Front loading. Oh no! It just sat on the countertop like a microwave oven. You ran a hose to the faucet. Really? That is interesting, Sunset. That sounds very it sounds very mobile home. I guess it's the only way I can think of describing that. What you have just described to me.
Holy shit, that was
I've never heard of that
exciting.
before.
It is closing on 10 Eastern. It's a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Currently, I only have 1 cup, 2 sporks, 1 plate, and 1 cooking pot. I mean, that's all you need. That's all you need.
When you're living alone.
We host a bit, so no, I just sat on the countertop like a microwave oven. You ran the hose to the faucet. That is super weird.
Yeah, I can see it. But
I mean, yeah, I really, why buy a big one if you don't need a big one? And there, like the technology connection guy was talking about, like, what's the difference between that and hand washing? And he's like, the dishwasher is significantly more efficient, like by far. He was going into like the math. I think he tried like doing the math and everything. He determined that it's just way cheaper, a lot less chemicals used, significant time savings, less water.
I would say yes, but it depends on how you do it. Because I remember when I was living at home, my parents are super conscientious about water usage. So we would just fill up the sink about halfway with water, and then we would just use that same water for all the dishes.
But that's what a dishwasher does.
Yes, but I'm just saying, if
Dishwasher
you do it that
loads up
way-
with water and then just recycles
Like I
water.
can see people if they keep the faucet running. Blush. If you keep the faucet running and you're scrubbing the dishes under the faucet, that would use a lot more water. But if you're doing it like fill up the sink halfway,
But even then,
same water
there's a certain point where the water's not going to be that great anymore.
yes.
But dishwashers do a very similar thing, though.
Yeah.
We're just reusing a lot of the water, but
Well, the dishwasher gets way hotter too than your hands could probably handle in the water. And the water in the dishwasher, or
That's
not
why
the dishwasher in the sink,
it's
gonna
fine.
Get colder and colder.
Sometimes if it's not a day I can shower, I just jump in the dishwasher.
Yeah, right.
Just take out the things. And you're all
I've
good.
washed towels in a dishwasher before. Don't let me.
Would a half sink of water be soup after all the washing? If you didn't put... Okay, so let's say that you put a bunch of dishes in that were super, super dirty.
Yeah.
And then no soap.
No, you'd have like the hand soap.
No, but you put no soap in.
Yeah.
Would it be... So it took all the food off of all the everything. And then at the bottom, would that be dishwasher soup?
Yes. Delicious.
I mean, I guess if there's... If it's like a brand new machine, maybe...
It wouldn't even be the stuff in the dishwasher. Just be
A lot of dishwashers have a built-in disposal at the bottom, though, that will grind up any food pieces that fall down.
Yeah, it has to have that. Would not survive very long.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some of the animating stuff on this, but I think overall, like, the general idea for this is done.
Holy shit, that was fucking
I do
exciting.
remember one time we went in there and started taking apart the dishwasher to try to get out everything, and I didn't even know what caused it to back up that one time. It seemed to work itself out.
Yeah, it hasn't.
You were
come
already
since.
like called.
Well, because it was literally like effed.
It kind of seemed that way, but it seemed to work itself out. Like I don't even know what it was.
Holy,
It was weird.
holy,
That was a weird thing that happened.
So her hooves kind of just
Very important.
are clipping here. So from here to here.
Why did she just put her arms out?
No.
Very cute. Cute little hooves. Yeah, the end of the slide. Actually, your hooves are kind of going through well.
Okay, that's not too bad.
holy,
Kind of snaps a little bit right there at the end.
Curves
I
up.
probably can move it back a little bit.
Sorry, you're just in time to watch us say goodbye.
Oh, Night Harmony.
Not late.
Yes. Yeah, we're actually a couple minutes over, so. Okay, Michael, here we go.
This is something great. Whoosh.
holy,
No, this goes on. They seem a little high, but yes. Lower them just ever so slightly. Oh, it's getting no. Yes. I do like this. She does punch herself a few times there at the end, but
There she goes.
it's like we. She's head bopping. It's very animated.
holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
There she goes.
It's like a wee.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
This is like.
Almost
Very
gotta
happy
put
horse.
arm down. Bad horse.
I just like it with the keep the arms up and have her go down one time. Just one.
Put the arms up, but I did.
All right, no, but just keep them up. Like no, not that high. Too high. Too high. Like just straight out. Right, straight out in front of her. It's whoosh.
Looks stupid, Michael.
Holy shit,
Oh, it's cute. She's flying like this. She go.
No. See, this is, or is this better?
No. She wouldn't do that. She's creating too much wind resistance. She's gonna slow herself down. What's she doing now? Her dress is weird.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
No, it went past my point.
Yes, it did.
See, it's this way. Just do this. We just...
Hi, I'm Mud Pie. Welcome to Jackass.
This was when. Wiggle. Yeah.
Holy shit, that was fucking exciting.
It's way over there. Because my mouse is over here and it goes over there, so it tries to
Shit,
compensate.
that was fucking exciting.
Okay. Well, where are we done? So,
Never gonna get that best version.
with that single water be oh yeah, we're gonna answer that one. So okay. Like I mentioned before, I'll have an animation out tomorrow, and hopefully the podcast tomorrow. Audio version's all done. I just need to.
Made me think we were gonna have podcast
yeah.
tomorrow, and I'm like, that's gonna be tough.
It's Twilight.
Why did you make that your background? Oh,
No, it
you
wasn't.
Okay.
It was my the Argo Zone video. I just had to finish up the podcast stuff tonight, which is probably going to take most of the evening. So,
I gotta start packing.
I do too, kind of. Not much though.
I gotta take 2 whole.
Who's on right now?
Everybody. Holy crap.
Okay,
I
so
haven't done Dusty in a while.
no, I have not. We can go head over to Dusty. Dusty is running away from some people. I don't know what he's doing, but apparently, he's making some things. So he's doing some physical labor stuff.
Monster has
Coffee.
Oh, okay, it's coffee. I thought it was
It's a
alcohol.
nitro infused. That's actually kind of neat. Anyway, we're not looking at ads. Shut up.
I want to advertise so that we can get advertisers, so that I can become rich.
Dusty.
And
Okay.
ditch this place.
It looks like he's in like the man cave for Adam Savage.
He has his own workshop. It's quite impressive.
All right, so we're gonna go over there. We're gonna run over to Dusty Cat. So hi, say to Dusty for me.
Yes.
See you guys. I'm probably not going to be game streaming on Sunday because I don't know when I'm getting back. I might do it Monday instead because I have the day off. So, otherwise, have a good one. Let me jump to Kitty. It's my mother mouse is too far away, and we'll talk to you guys later or something.
Later. Dust.
This one makes sure those are going.
Dust.
Thank you for the cheers to Hot Rod Nolan and Sir Edward. Thank you for the follows to Justin Kyle. And thank you for the resubs from Silver One, Wirosani, and Hot Rod. Thank you very much. To the Pone Cave.
To the Pone Cave.
We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
I am struggling between. Oh, he's got it. I gotta go order.